sprained knee. The 76ers center plans to play in Game 2 of the NBA's Eastern Conference semifinals tonight against the Celtics. Embiid, who missed the Game 1 win, does appear to be trending in the right direction for tonight, according to Coach Doc Rivers.
Yeah, I mean, he looked great today and shoot around. Obviously we still have to wait. So I'm hoping he plays. I think we're leaning that way for sure.
Game 2, 7:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio. Lionel Messi will leave PSG at the end of the season when his contract expires. Sources told ESPN there's an offer from Saudi Arabia for Messi, as well as interest from Barcelona and Major League Soccer's Inter Miami. A pair of Game 1s coming up tonight as the two other second-round Stanley Cup playoff series begin. Devils Hurricanes at 7 Eastern on ESPN TV, followed by Connor McDavid and the Oilers visiting the Golden Knights. The Negro League's Baseball Museum has started a drive for a new $25 million facility to house its education center and one of the world's unique collections of baseball memorabilia.
It's Wrangler season out there. Open roads, endless horizons. Shop Wrangler.com for new denim styles, made for your next adventure. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Hey, shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Yep.
It's hump day.
Let's hump, everybody.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
It's a hump day, Mike.
Hump day.
LSU gets a win.
It's hump day.
You'll have to take my word for it since nobody saw it.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Saints slanging out dollar bills for undrafted free agents.
Hump day.
They cut a quarterback, too.
It's hump day.
Our SEC spring recap looking at the Gators.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
We got Brooke Kirchhofer in hour 3. We got Brooke. You all right over there, bro? You good? It's all right. We just do it every Wednesday. It's called Hump Day. Comes every single week after Tuesday.
Twice a day,
before
actually.
Thursday. Twice a day.
Twice a day.
Unless if we have a guest.
Yeah.
It's hump day.
All right, let's get rolling. All right, a lot to do today. Excited about the show. I love radio. You know that? I love radio. Theater of the mind. Many days, many moons ago, days of yesteryear, when I would talk to my grandfather and tell me about when he was just a wee lad, and the family would gather around the radio and listen to a ball game or a program, a story, perhaps, by the warm fire of a winter's eve, with maybe a glass of cocoa in hand. Radio's a beautiful thing. And thank God we have radio, because all y'all suckers, me included, trying to watch the stream of the LSU Southeastern game last night, got absolutely left out in the cold. Now, Muse, it's probably a good thing that we didn't have a stream of this game, because yesterday, as you and I were detailing here on the show, LSU was going into a tough situation, a proverbial lion's den.
Hey, look at this guy.
See what I did there? See what I did?
I like it.
Because they're the Lions.
That was a good one.
And I told you, Didn't I tell you? Southeast, they were pumped for this.
They're fired up.
They've been pumped for months and months. Was there in Hammond, America, which, as I understand, it said that on their jerseys yesterday.
It did.
However, nobody knows because nobody saw it.
Yeah, no one saw it.
Was there in Hammond back in early February at a banquet with Matt Reiser and Jay Johnson, and boy, they were fired up at Hammond about the Tigers coming in. It had been sold out. Whole town was going to be there. And you know they're pesky on the base paths too, Muse. Southeastern, what are they, 8th in the country, something like that, in stolen bases,
for sure,
something like that?
Like 90.
Yeah. I think LSU's got 4.
It sounds right, yeah.
I think LSU's at like 9. It's not many.
Doesn't matter. They don't need them. Yeah.
Well, they probably could have used them last night, Muse, because, look, we also talked about it, didn't we? LSU depleted pitching staff.
Yeah.
Had to use a lot of guys on Sunday, extended outings. I mean, we were trying to figure out who they were going to do. We started talking about, does Blair Frederick still have eligibility? Bring him out. I mean,
Blair Frederick.
We said, look, Will Helmers.
He pitched. We saw Will Helmers last night.
No, we didn't.
Well, you're right.
I'm sorry. Did you see Will Helmers pitch last night?
No. Some people did.
Allegedly.
Like the 3,200 that were in the park.
Did it actually happen? Don't know.
If a tree falls in the forest.
Micah Bucknam.
I heard he pitched.
Sammy Dutton.
He closed out the game.
This is what we talked. Allegedly. This is what we talked about. Like, what was LSU possibly going to do? So, I'm glad I didn't have to watch an LSU loss, Muse. I'm really glad I didn't have to see that last night.
But they won, Matt.
Oh, really?
They won, yeah.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah.
Well, we did say, look, if LSU was going to win this game, it would be one of those where, like, you're just going to have to go bludge, right? An 18-14 type game, right? I mean, because you're talking about a situation where LSU, deep in the bullpen, we all know, you listen to fans around here, the pitching staff stinks. Wes Johnson's overrated. They got no arms. No good at all. So clearly it had to have been a game. I didn't see it, obviously, but it had to be one of those games where, what LSU win, like 16-12? What was it?
No, they actually threw a shutout. They won 10-0.
You shut your face.
Not happened.
I don't believe you.
2-hit shutout, as a matter of fact.
A 2-hit shutout?
Yeah.
A 2-hit shut piece?
2-hit shut piece.
You shut your piece.
No errors either.
Get out of town.
How about that?
Woo. In a midweek.
After losing 2 straight.
Unreal. Wish I could have seen it.
You and everyone else.
Oh, my goodness. Like, I mean, do you mean to tell me? So, Gavin Guidry, he got the start, didn't he?
He did.
How did he do?
2 1/3 shutout. Didn't give up a hit.
Oh, wow. That's really good.
Yeah.
So?
2-2. Got him to chase this one low. Travinsky will have to throw down to first. He will. Down to Jones for out number 3. And Gavin Guidry with his 4th Super 1 strikeout of the night.
That's how it sounded on the radio?
That's how it sounded on the radio.
Now, here's my question. Did the game actually happen, or was Chris Blair just talking to himself, making it up?
No, the game happened.
Okay.
I mean, it happened. For sure.
Were there any big defensive plays?
Oh, man.
Maybe in the game? Any good defensive plays?
I heard of at least one.
Bucknam again looks in. Here's the 1-2. Bouncing ground ball towards first. Gets out of the reach of Jones. Will send the runner in. Throw from right field. And tag applied. And out at the plate is going to be Manola. Great throw by Paxton Kling in right field.
Paxton Kling just hosing people last night.
I mean, it wasn't super descriptive, but at least we know a play was made.
Yeah.
That was good. Well, what about any offense in the game? I mean, you said, what did you say the final was, Muse? 10-0?
10-0.
Wow, 10-0. There had to be something good offensively.
This is how they got there.
Okay.
Again, Cruz down at second. 2-2 pitch, and Tommy White drives this one deep to left field, going back and at the wall. This baby is out of here. Tommy Tanks with a home run, number 16 on the year, and just the second to left field.
A humdinger.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be a son of a bugger. Look at that. 10 runs. I'll tell you, Muse, the only thing that would have been better is if those 10 runs had happened within 7 innings.
No, they did.
Wait a minute.
It was a 7-inning game.
You mean to tell me that LSU run-ruled Southeastern last night?
LSU run-ruled Southeastern last night.
Whoa! You know what that means, Muse. Woo!
It means...
Woo! Means you're a loser, Muse.
It means I lost the bet to Alden Cartwright.
Lost the bet.
Cartwright.
And I owe Alden Cartwright
lost
dinner.
The bet.
Cartwright.
And I am butting in on dinner. Woo! Where are we going, Muse?
I mean, it's up. First of all, it's up to Cartwright. Make sure you bring your wallet.
Yeah.
Because you're not part of this bet.
I am so part of this bet. My goodness.
No.
You know what? Wait, just for can we please?
What?
Well,
go ahead. Okay.
I was going to say, can we please recap, if we could? This is called a reset. So in radio, there should be no inside jokes. A lot of people, I understand, people listen passively. They come, they go. You don't listen every day for 3 hours, although we wish you would. Let's remind people. So I was out.
Right.
You were filling in for me.
Correct.
And you had Alden Cartwright on this show.
Accurate.
And what happened?
Well, I'm glad you asked. See, I'm playing along a little bit here, Matt, because I went and dug it back up, and I think our friend Alden Cartwright might have misremembered the bet a little bit.
Musso, let's make a bet.
Okay.
Over or under 12 10-run rules this year with the new rules.
12. Well. Aren't we right on the number?
You said it was 11.5. That's what you said.
I mean, he just said 12 right there.
So what you're saying is the goal has not been achieved yet.
That's what it sounds like to me, Matt. You heard the tape. You say it all the time. Everything's recorded. It's not hard to go back and find it.
Yeah. You know, Muse, I'm really glad that you brought that up. Because I knew you little rogue. I knew what you were going to do. I knew you were going to go dig up that little piece of audio and only play the beginning, and what you forgot was the rest of the audio there, Muse.
Let's make it 9, and I'm going to take over.
Okay, I'll take under. I'll take under. Not overly confidently, but I'll take the under. Okay, that's fine.
Muse took under on 9. Ha! You lost weeks ago. You owe me dinner.
Okay, first of all, I know you, Matt.
Ha!
And there's a third part of the clip.
No such
yes,
thing. We got to go to break. There's no such part of that. I don't believe
we
it.
can't go to break till I press the button to go to break. And we're going to hear the end of this cut.
All right.
All right, we'll put it more in your favor. And we'll stick with 12, and I'll still take. We'll go 11. I'll take
I like that. 11, perfect.
Make it a little better. We'll take dinner of your choice.
Oh. There it is. So 11. Between
11
Alden
was the
Cartwright
number,
and me,
and
not you.
But there's more to the story, because Cartwright did come back on AFR, and he did welcome me to the. Oh, we have that as well. What we need to do is we need to bring Cartwright on the show.
Cartwright.
Wait, do we play it for just Cartwright, or do we have
I'm
to say
kind
Alden
of just
Cartwright?
hitting it today. I don't know, man. I'm feeling good about it. Normally it is Alden Cartwright, but you know.
Cartwright.
There it was. You know what? What the hell, Muse? Play it. This is when Cartwright came back on the show. I learned of the bet, and this transpired. We've already gotten the run rule.
So Musso owes me dinner now?
No. We set it at 11, I think, Cartwright. So
wait, when did you all set an over under?
One day when I was filling in for you, we talked to Cartwright and we set one. I think it was.
You
after
haven't told
week
Matt
1.
about this?
No, it hadn't come up.
Where's dinner?
I'll let Musso choose, and Matt, you can come with us.
Yes. You say you owe me dinner.
No. He
All
said
right.
you can come with us.
Our audience gets to choose, provided they agree with me. Make it the Twitter poll question of the day. Does Matt get to go to dinner on Musso with Cartwright?
But that's not the bet.
Make it the poll. Well, we're going to ask Cartwright what he meant whenever he's here with us. We're going to find Cartwright. We're going to drag him along somewhere in this show. I don't know where we're going to stick him. We're going to find Cartwright. We're going to get him on the show, and we're going to get to the bottom of this. Make it the poll question. LSU shuts out Southeastern. They run rule a team for the 12th time, and Musso owes me dinner. So go vote on Twitter and make sure you vote against Musso and for me. So he's got to buy me and Alden Cartwright dinner.
Vote for Moose. Just remember that.
Cartwright.
Vote for Moose.
But not really. It's AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. If you've been injured and it's not your fault, you know what to do. Get Gordon and get it done. By the way, if you're not following Gordon on social media, you should. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all of them. He puts out great content, and we just moved out of Distracted Driver Awareness Month, but so much of what Gordon does, aside from things like Grubbin with G, his one-on-ones with the members of the G team, is he gives away free legal advice on a lot of his social media platforms. So when you find yourself in a situation like, if you do get pulled over, what do you do? If you get in a wreck, if someone rear-ends you, if it's your fault, like, what do you do? A lot of that is just free advice from Gordon on a lot of the social media platforms. So make sure you follow him. Also, remember, running out of time, gordonsgrads.com, gordonsgrads.com. Win one of a dozen free laptops for upcoming high school grads. Go to gordonsgrads.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey, it's Matt Musso. Join me Monday through Friday for your daily update on LSU baseball with Musso at the Box, presented by New Orleans Flooring, wherever you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, Google, and check out New Orleans Flooring. 2 locations, Metairie and Prairieville, or NOLAFlooring.com.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Turn my music high, 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 yeah.
You don't know what you're doing.
Sure I do. I'm from the streets where the hood can swallow on me. Bullets will follow on me. There's so much that you could run the slalom. And cops comb this top to bottom. They say that we are prone to violence, but it's home sweet home. With personalities clashing, chrome meets chrome. Prices up and down like this Wall Street.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look.
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
It's always kind of clickbaity if you tease Saints waive a quarterback. But they did. Saints, after the draft, have parted ways with 2 players. Saints have waived running back Derek Gore and quarterback Jake Luton. Field Yates, among others, had that 7 late yesterday afternoon. But The Gore was an undrafted free agent with the Chargers back in 2019. He bounced around a bit, played for the Chiefs. Actually played in 2019 in 2021 with Kansas City. Lutton was a guy that the Saints brought in for depth. Was a 6th round pick back in 2020. Bounced around Jags, Seattle, Miami, and then with New Orleans. He started 3 games for Jacksonville during the COVID year, but that's the only the playing time he's gotten in an NFL game. So I think it's interesting with Lutton only, but not, by the way, that Jake Lutton had any chance of making the Saints roster or anything of the nature. But you're set with Derek Carr, Jameis Winston, and then you've brought in Jake Haener, who you drafted as a developmental player and someone who you hope you can just stash on the practice squad for a season. And, if you have to have him part of your 53-man roster to protect him, you understand that could very well happen that way. But there are ways to make sure that you protect that asset. But remember, and the only reason I bring up Lutton is just because you'll need a camp arm. Reminder, go back to last year's training camp. I don't expect you to remember this, but they went into training camp with Jameis coming off the ACL as your starter. Andy Dalton was your backup. Remember, Taysom had fully moved to tight end, away from quarterback. So you had Jameis and Dalton 1-2. You still had Ian Book at the start of training camp. Remember, you hadn't cut him yet. And then you signed KJ Costello. LSU fans remember KJ Costello. Unfortunately, too well. But so you had 4. So you're gonna need a camp arm eventually when you get to training camp. So I fully expect the Saints will add somebody else. They're not going to go into training camp when that time. Look, you've got rookie minicamp later this month. You've got minicamps and OTAs ahead before you get to training camp in July. So they've got plenty of time to let this all sort out. But if you liked the player a year ago, maybe a little surprising that they let him walk now. But you'll have to add somebody. You'll have to add somebody as a camp arm before you get there. We'll see who it is. All right, it's after further review. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here on a hump day edition of AFR presented by Pluckers. Love telling you about the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Y'all, a week from Sunday's Mother's Day. So get on by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Gift card for mom is great. Botox, lip filler. Let her pick from their menu of services that she may want. Get her a gift card. Let mom feel and look younger and beautiful. You do it at the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, online at theantiagingclinics.com, theantiagingclinics.com. Semaglutide, they've got it. Hormone replacement therapy, they got it. Learn more or schedule a consultation at theantiagingclinics.com, theantiagingclinics.com. Every year after the draft ends, we always talk about the undrafted free agents, and we've gone through a couple of them that I like, that I think have a legitimate chance to make the Saints roster. We talked a day ago about the Saints adding receiver Malik Flowers out of Montana's dynamic returner and why that may make a lot of sense. If you missed that, you can catch it on the AFR Saints YouTube channel from yesterday. I want to highlight a few other players because what we've learned now as some of this info is starting to leak out, we know what the Saints had to offer some of these undrafted free agents. And this is going to sound odd, but follow me. Sometimes it is better to go undrafted than to be drafted. And while I know that probably sounds counterintuitive, remember, and everyone wants the sort of honor of being drafted. You want to hear your name called. For a lot of these guys, that's a lifelong dream, but there's only 255 guys that are going to have their name called. So not everybody's going to be drafted, and plenty of guys every year go undrafted and make teams and become really good players. But the thing that's beneficial about going undrafted as opposed to being a late-round pick is, number one, oftentimes you make more money as an undrafted free agent. I'll explain that in a second. And number two, you get to pick where you go so you can pick an advantageous situation. There are times, the example that I give a lot, there were several years ago, the Saints drafted a running back. And it was Daniel Lasco was his name, if you remember that name. Daniel Lasco was a running back out of Cal. I'm trying to remember, I'm looking it up right now to see exactly what year that was. Daniel Lasco was a 7th-round pick in 2016. Here it is. He was a running back out of Cal, and the Saints loved him because of his special teams ability. Now, the Saints were loaded up at running back at that point, and Lasco had no shot of making an impact as a running back on the Saints roster at that point. But the Saints knew if he went undrafted, they had no chance to sign him because he'd sign somewhere where he'd have a better chance to go be a running back. But the Saints loved the player, depth at running back and special teams. So they drafted him. Had he gone undrafted, he would have signed with a team that would have given him more of an opportunity to be a running back. So all that to say, when you I'll give you an absolute for instance financially. So a year ago, after the draft, the most notable undrafted free agent that the Saints signed was Abram Smith. Remember, we talked about him a ton. Coincidentally, another running back from Baylor who had played linebacker, switched to running back, was a 1,000-yard rusher on the team that won the Big 12. Saints were looking for running back help. They didn't draft one, so they went and offered Abram Smith $222K to sign as an undrafted free agent. So keep that number in mind, 222. They also, by the way, signed Rashid Shaheed last year as an undrafted free agent for $222K. The Saints did not have a 7th-rounder last year. Their 6th-round pick was Jordan Jackson, the defensive tackle out of Air Force. Jordan Jackson's guaranteed money from the Saints as a 6th-round pick was $176,692. So the undrafted guys, Abram Smith and Rashid Shaheed, got about $50,000 more than the 6th-round pick. And they got to pick the team they went to that they had a better chance of making the squad. Like Rashid Shaheed, who obviously made the team, and Abram Smith, who didn't and is, I think, playing in the XFL now. XFL or USFL, he's in one of them right now. But so, again, why sometimes it is more advantageous to go undrafted than to be a late-round pick. So that's why it's always interesting to kind of highlight some of the undrafted free agents. And now the numbers we've gotten, there's 3 that were paid handsomely as undrafted free agents. Mark Evans, the offensive lineman out of Arkansas Pine Bluff, led the way with $241K. They paid Mark Evans more than they paid Abram Smith and Rashid Shaheed a year ago. Anthony Orji, we've talked about him, linebacker from Vanderbilt. They gave him $216. And wide receiver Shaquan Davis out of South Carolina State, they also gave him $216K. So those are 3 guys that you're going to have to look at when they get into camp as dudes that, when you always ask, okay, what undrafted free agents have the best shot of making the team? So often we look at draft picks because the conventional wisdom is if a team is going to invest a draft asset in a player, they're more likely to give that player ultimate or other more opportunities to make the team. They're going to give that player the benefit of the doubt. If you're coming down to 2 wide receivers, one was an undrafted guy, one was a 6th-round pick, you're probably going to go with the draft pick because you used a draft asset. Sometimes it's so obvious one way you go the other. And the best example of that was Antonio Pittman. Back in 2007 when the Saints drafted Antonio Pittman in the 4th round, and they also signed Pierre Thomas as an undrafted free agent. Pierre Thomas just beat him, won the job, and they made the right decision, right? You just whiffed on the 4th-round pick, but you made up for it because the running back that you signed as an undrafted free agent made the team and is, going to the Saints Hall of Fame. So there are instances where because you're a draft pick, you might get the benefit of the doubt, unless if it's a situation like this where these guys were paid even more than some of the draft picks are, and they're going to have a better chance to make the team. So Mark Evans is going to be interesting. This is almost it's a very similar comp to Teron Armstead. 6'2", 303, started 5 years, all at Arkansas Pine Bluff, same place Armstead won. He spent his career at left tackle, so you're talking about a dude that is an athletic edge, 23 years old, and not edge, offensive lineman on the edge, athletic on the edge as an offensive lineman. That's one guy worth keeping an eye on. Obviously, you drafted Trevor Penning last year, and you hope he beats out James Hurst this year and becomes your franchise left tackle, but you can always use depth at the tackle spots because you always have injuries. And yes, that would be fantastic if he could make the team. We talked about Anthony Orji, the linebacker out of Vanderbilt. Had a chance to interview him at SEC Media Days. He is an Adonis. I mean, he is 6'1", 230. Dude's got like 4% body fat. It's insane. He wore number 0 at Vanderbilt. He led the SEC last year in tackles per game at nearly 9 tackles per game. He was awesome. So 19.5 tackles for loss over his last 24 games as a starter. Started his career as a safety, bulked up, moved down to linebacker, and an athletic inside player. I'm very, very, very optimistic about him. A team captain type guy. So great in the locker room. Obviously a smart player if you're going to go to Vanderbilt. So that's another guy worth watching, especially, we're going to keep saying it, at linebacker, where Demario Davis is phenomenal. The best free agent signing that the Saints made outside of Drew Brees. But you look at Demario Davis, and who's getting older, and Pete Werner, who's been injured, who's a great player, but you need depth at linebacker. He could be a steal as an undrafted free agent. And then Shaquan Davis, South Carolina State wide receiver, 6'4", 216, a guy who averaged 20 yards a catch. I mean, big play dude at 6'4", 216. We know the Saints' proficiency at finding some of these smaller school guys. It's always kind of curious how much of that was Sean Payton, how much of it was the organization as a whole identifying, that sort of hidden gems at receiver in the late rounds or as undrafted guys. I mean, we all know it's Marcus Colson out of Hofstra. We talked about Rashid Shaheed just a bit ago. I mean, you can even go back to Lance Moore, who had spent a year in the NFL, I think with Cleveland prior to the Saints signing him. But Sean Payton brought him in. He was actually with the last year of the Jim Haslett era in 2005. But point is, the Saints have found guys throughout their history, smaller school guys, maybe undrafted free agents who have a skill set they like, and perhaps Shaquan Davis is one of those guys, so we'll keep an eye as they get toward camp, and they like him enough to offer him $216K as an undrafted free agent. So just a couple of undrafted free agents worth keeping an eye on as the Saints have invested. I mean, they have put their money where their mouth is with these 3 guys, paying each of them over $200,000 to sign as undrafted free agents. Okay, it's after further review. Brooke Kirchhofer is going to be with us in hour number 3. We want to talk with her about the Saints draft, looking ahead to minicamp, what to watch, some of these guys, surprises, roster needs. We'll talk Saints with Brooke coming up in hour 3. Looking forward to that. We're going to head to Gainesville in about 45 minutes from right now. We'll talk with Kevin Brockway of the Gainesville Sun. SEC Spring Recaps, looking at the Gators entering year 2 with Billy Napier. Taylor Calandro in about 15 minutes. When we come back, we'll go around the SEC. Stay here.
AFR.
Brought to you by Pluckers, Nicholson, Bluebonnet. Dine-in, carry-out, or delivery. Had dinner last night at Pluckers, as a matter of fact. Went and skedaddled out of here. Drew had a Miracle League game. Left Miracle League after Drew was finished and took the boy over to Pluckers and met my dad and my gramps who were over there having dinner. So it was nice to sit down with them and have a few wings. A little 5-piece garlic parm, side of fries, drank a beer. It was a great time spent with Dad and Gramps, and brought Drew along as well. We're right there at the Bluebonnet location, but whether it's Nicholson or Bluebonnet, you can't go wrong. Tonight and every Wednesday is trivia. Of course, tomorrow is May the 4th. Star Wars nerds unite. It is Star Wars trivia tonight at Pluckers. 7:30 Bluebonnet, 8 o'clock Nicholson, Star Wars trivia. I kind of want to get Chuck P to go just to see if anybody can tangle with him at all. This is his wheelhouse. Got to do it. Somebody get Chuck P on the line. Pluckers, you don't like our wings. We'll give you the bird.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary. For those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded. Because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I drove myself to the ER, had heart surgery, and drove myself home 24 hours later, feeling fine. Starting running again after the procedure, I'm getting excited thinking about it. I had no pain, nothing. I felt great. And right then and there, I was like, oh my God, I'm back. I'm back. It's just amazing.
Ochsner Health. Long live you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Sometimes I hate the media. Kind of a sad state of affairs sometimes. I love what I do. I don't love what a lot of people in our industry do. Brian Kelly was talking at the Houston Touchdown Club yesterday. If you've Googled Brian Kelly's name today, you've seen headlines like this. I'll call them out. CBS Sports, idiots. LSU coach Brian Kelly tosses shade at Alabama while speaking to Tiger fans. Quote, "I love beating Alabama." AL.com, Brian Kelly to LSU fans in Houston. Quote, "Love beating Alabama." Saturday down south, Brian Kelly riles up LSU crowd at Houston Touchdown Club luncheon. "I love beating Alabama." Yard Barker, whatever that is. LSU's Brian Kelly takes shot at Alabama. LSU Wire, whatever that is. Brian Kelly takes shot at Alabama in Touchdown Club comments. Like, you read those headlines, and you think Brian Kelly, like, dog cussed Nick Saban and his mama. Brian Kelly's quote was, "I love the environment of a college stadium. I love coming out on that field. I love beating Alabama." What's wrong with that? How is that a shot at Alabama? That's stating an obvious fact. Who wouldn't love beating Alabama? Who wouldn't love taking them down and seeing the fans rush the field? What's he supposed to say? It was okay. I've had better. I mean, they all know what they're doing, man. Shame on me. Just by typing that in, reading it, I've fed the algorithm and fed them what they want. Idiots. I'm glad I'm not one. All right. I never want to be a media member. But I get it, man. I get that stuff right there is why that is a crystal clear example of why people don't trust media. All right. Remind you about Relief Windows, reliefwindows.com. Then we'll go around the SEC. We'll talk to Taylor Calandro. Energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank vinyl siding. It's Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. You can always trust Brandon Holly, Adrian Holly, and their gang over at Relief Windows. You want to go by and see them? 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. You can always walk into the showroom. They always have associates available ready to help you. If you need energy-efficient replacement windows, maybe you're looking for beautiful entry doors, the gateway to your home, or hardy plank vinyl siding. You want to make your home more energy efficient, fire resistant, comes finished in whatever color you want, will last for 30 years. It's Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, Relief Windows, and reliefwindows.com. Okay, do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. The Mississippi State Bulldogs.
Mississippi State basketball coach Chris Jans has agreed to a contract extension. They added a year onto his original 4-year contract. Jans' salary jumps from $2.4 million to $3.2 million. Entering year 2 in Starkville, led the Bulldogs to the NCAA tournament in his first season. He was a successful head coach at New Mexico State prior to heading to the Aggies. Made 3 March Madness appearances in 5 seasons at New Mexico State.
Texas A&M!
A&M basketball has their second edition out of the transfer portal. It's Middle Tennessee State guard Eli Lawrence. Averaged 12-4 last year. Lawrence played in 120 games in his college career with 71 starts, so a ton of experience. A&M's coming off a breakthrough year under Buzz Williams. They were 15-3 in the league and reached the NCAA tournament.
The Arkansas Razorbacks.
Arkansas pitcher Dylan Carter will miss the remainder of the season with a torn UCL. He'll have Tommy John surgery. The redshirt sophomore righty. Sorry, Alondra. I hit her right in the face with that one. That was unintentional. Crumbled up the paper. Was trying to throw it at the camera. I mean, you can throw it back. It's fine. No, throw it back. Here we go. Let's see if I can get the camera. Okay, we're right. I'm done. It's I blame the ball. I blame the paper ball. I mean, that went right in her face. Right in her face. I'm just going to throw them toward the trash can now. Anyway, Dylan Carter, big bullpen piece for Arkansas. Tore his UCL. He's done for the year. A lot of baseball last night around the conference. Run through the scores real quickly. Here we go. Ole Miss beat Little Rock 12-10. Florida went to. They played Florida State in Jacksonville. I threw it way over there that time. Florida beat Florida State 7-5 in a neutral site game. Georgia outlasts Kennesaw State 10-9. Tennessee no issues with Wofford 13-3. In the battle line in the border war. The border war for baseball. Missouri beat Kansas 9-7. Vandy, a winner over Georgia State 11-5. Lipscomb beats Arkansas 8-6. Thanks for playing, Hogs. Your season's over. Losers. Can't lose midweek games. Texas A&M beat Tarleton 6-5, and LSU blanked Southeastern 10-0. There you have it. That is Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy Trey Beal and our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products, the official office equipment provider of the New Orleans Saints, the New Orleans Pelicans, the LSU Tigers, and the ULL Ragin' Cajuns. Check them out online, gcopnet.com. You need office equipment. You need the best. You need Gulf Coast Office Products. All right, Bourbon Dictionary with Taylor Calandro. Get your booze questions in. That's next on AFR.
AFR.
I don't have a live read here. Oh. I do have a live read here. The floater was the no live. You should have just not put a floater there. Anyway, River City's 1 hour air, 752-0001, where they're always on time. Or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001. Look for the big yellow vans and trucks with the giant clock on the side. You can't miss them. It's River City's 1 hour air. Preseason AC tune-up. I think yesterday I said heater. My bad for that. Nope, not doing heater safety checks right now. AC tune-up is what we're doing right now at River City's 1 hour air. 752-0001, 752-0001. Call them. Mention the Moscona special. They'll always save you $25 off your system repair just for listening to the show. And remember, nights, holidays, weekends, they always, I'll say it again, nights, holidays, weekends, they'll always come out. They'll never charge you extra. River City's 1 hour air.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Home in Baton Rouge. I'm ready what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down the
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
They're the gang with the slang. This is Bourbon Dictionary with Matt Moscona and Taylor Calandro.
All right, wrapping up hour number 1. Let's do it. Taylor Calandro joins us to answer your booze questions. How are you, dude?
Good. What's up, Matt?
Another day. Hey, man, a lot of questions coming in already about Kentucky Derby. Is this a big bourbon spike weekend as we get through, like, spring, where people really start to bust out the bourbon because of Derby?
Yeah, I mean, the first Saturday in May, we always sell a good bit of brown. So yeah, we do see a little pop this time of year.
Are there any do people tend to default to Woodford because they have the Derby special bottle and all that stuff? I think they're actually the official. Aren't they the official bourbon of the Derby?
They are the official bourbon of the Derby. No, not. Okay. And nobody really knows. I guess. The only way you would find out that is if you actually watch the Derby. But no, I mean, we do have a special Woodford package right now that has a little mint julep cup in it, and they do the Kentucky Derby bottle every year, which we don't have any more of, and it was pretty allocated this year. But no, I mean, everybody. We probably do sell a little bit more Woodford than usual, but it's not the only bourbon people buy. If
people want to do mint juleps for the Derby, what do you suggest?
We've got Old Forester mint julep right now. It's a pre-mixed mint julep from Old Forester, and it's $26. I would say it's good too. I've had it. I mean, you literally open the bottle, pour it over ice. You could juice it up with some fresh mint or something like that. But it's super solid. Very cool. I want to get some questions in, and Garrett Pizzolatto, the first one was a Derby. When he said with the Derby on Saturday, what's a good bourbon for mint juleps at the Derby themed party? You have any, if people want to make their own mint julep, which by the way, it is a little cumbersome to make a mint julep, but it's also pretty cool to do it. If you've never made yourself a mint julep and gotten sort of the copper glass and all that stuff, it's a pretty cool thing to do. So what do you recommend? Well, I'll stick with, I would obviously recommend Woodford. And if you want to get really weird, get Woodford Double Oak, just to be in the spirit of it. Also, Old Forester, the Prohibition series, is really, really good, too. And those are reasonably priced bottles, too.
Eric Hart said, asked Taylor, what's a $40 to $50 tequila I could buy to celebrate Cinco de Mayo properly? That's true. I wasn't even thinking about it. You got Cinco de Mayo this weekend as well.
Yeah, Cinco de Mayo is Friday. I actually forgot about that. And Mother's Day is next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
A good $40, $50 tequila. I would suggest Casamigos is really good. I'm trying to think what else in that range. There's not a whole lot in that range.
One of the ones I always drink is Don Julio Blanco. I mean, I've told you that before, but you can get a Don Julio Blanco for $50.
Like Don Julio, Patron, Casamigos, they're all around the same price, and they're all pretty good, too.
Jay Duga said, Taylor, my buddy found in North Carolina and shipped the gold label Jack last week. Will shipping to Louisiana become legal one day?
I don't know. They just shot down legalizing marijuana last week, so that's a good question. This state's lawmakers are kind of archaic, and they don't like doing new things. And there's a big lobby to stop stuff like that.
I didn't know that the legal marijuana bill had been shot down. That explains why Musso's been in a bad mood all week.
It was the end of the week last week, I think. Or
that
maybe middle week last week. Yeah, recreational marijuana got shut down.
Sorry, Muse.
Moose.
It explains so much. Scott Pitaro asked Taylor if he has a favorite stave profile on the Maker's Mark Private Select Series.
Like a 10 stave makeup? One of my favorite Maker's Marks on the planet, and out of all the stave selections we've done, I still love Maker's 46, which is just I think it's French oak. It's fantastic. It adds a good bit of vanilla to the bourbon, and that's what I generally prefer.
Greg Lehman asked Taylor, what is your preferred blender when making daiquiris?
Vitamix.
Hey, can I not even lying?
Hey, that's a funny question. I used to work at Smoothie King when I was in high school.
Attaboy. See, joke's on you, Greg Lehman. This is actually a blender expert. I got me I make smoothies at home with the Nutra Ninja, and I think it works wonderfully. You probably do the same with a daiquiri if you needed to.
Ninjas are sweet, but Vitamix is like the professional blender. If you want to get really crazy and spend a lot of money on a nice blender, get a Vitamix.
Brett DeGrow asked Taylor, what's the best bourbon to drink when you want or need to lose 10 pounds?
None. Zero. Water. Drink water if you want to. I don't think bourbon's all that bad if you're trying to lose weight. What really gets you is beer.
Yeah.
Beer is heavy. and it's got a lot of calories, and bourbon's got calories too, but beer is what really packs it on.
It's literally that was the impetus for me starting to drink whiskey, was I needed some alternative to beer, because a beer was never just a beer for me. A beer was like, let's have 10 beers.
And that's also the problem, because you got to drink a lot of beer to get where you would need to go. And alcohol isn't necessarily always the problem. It's what results after you drink alcohol. Your body starts craving nasty food and
it's so
salty junk. And
so good. All right, Taylor Calandro from Calandro's little Bourbon Dictionary. 2 locations in Baton Rouge. Y'all get by and see him. Thank you, dude.
All right, Matt. Thanks.
All right, we'll talk next week. We appreciate the questions as always. Let me know. I got a quick break. We'll come back. Oh, the SEC scheduling, football scheduling format. Got an update there. And MLB draft rankings. Coming up on that next, AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service. ShawbillsTire.com. Shawbills is the home of the Charlie's Dozen, a dozen benefits extended to you and your vehicle when you buy your tires at Shawbills, but not just you, every vehicle in your home when you buy your tires at Shawbills. Remember, at Shawbills, they got the price match guarantee. You get their expertise, you get their hometown service, and you get tires at prices your wallet will love. They will match any price that you see. You can learn more about their price match guarantee at ShawbillsTire.com. See about the tread checker there. I love seeing the little graphic of the tread checker. Man, with Shawbills, look, I've said it for years, y'all. There's so many places you can go to buy tires or get worked on your vehicle. Ultimately, when you're talking about Shawbills, you're talking about hometown customer service, a family-owned and operated business that treats you like family. It's Shawbills. ShawbillsTire.com. Shawbills, where we keep you rolling.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Turn my music high, 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 yeah.
You don't know what you're doing.
Sure I do. I'm from the streets where the hood can swallow on me. Bullets will follow on me. There's so much that you could run the slalom. And cops comb this top to bottom. They say that we are prone to violence, but it's home sweet home. With personalities clashing, chrome meets chrome. Prices up and down like this Wall Street.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The 76ers are ready to welcome back star center Joel Embiid for Game 2 of the Eastern Conference semifinals tonight against the Celtics. The NBA MVP plans to return, barring a setback with his sprained knee. A better option, though, for Embiid would be to miss a second straight game in the series, in the opinion of First Take host Stephen A. Smith.
Because of his health, his shaky history of health, I understand that some people it might not make a big difference. Game 2, Game 3, what's the big difference? I think with the Sixers having gotten Game 1, I personally think he should wait, miss Game 2, and then come back ready Game 3 and do his thing.
Sixers Celtics Game 2, 7:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio. Lionel Messi will leave PSG at the end of the season when his contract expires. Sources told ESPN he has an offer from Saudi Arabia. There's also interest in him from Barcelona and Major League Soccer's Inter Miami. The WNBA has some modified rules changes for this season. They include allowing coaches one challenge per game and prohibiting players from trying to distract opponents in an unsportsmanlike manner.
It's Wrangler season out there. Open roads, endless horizons. Shop Wrangler.com for new denim styles, made for your next adventure. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 2. Off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Miggity, 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 Muso. And Mr. Toby Tumplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. Brooke Kirchhofer next hour. We'll talk some Saints. Head to Gainesville in 15 minutes. Check in with Kevin Brockway, SEC Spring Recap, looking at the Gators. Still trying to find Alden Cartwright. Have we found him yet, Muse? Have we located Alden Cartwright yet?
Cartwright? Still working on that.
Okay. Muse lost a bet. He owes Alden Cartwright and me dinner.
Just Cartwright.
And he's trying to weasel out of it like that no good son of a bugger Dwayne from Thibodeau, who if I ever saw in real life, I'd punch him right between his eyes.
Not true. I'm not Dwayne from Thibodeau.
You are.
I made a bet with Cartwright. I am honoring the bet with Cartwright.
And I got in on the bet, as we've said many times.
It did not happen.
Is a radio-tatorship. I almost said a cheer-tatorship. It's a cheerocracy.
It's a cheerocracy. Yeah,
it's a cheer-tatorship.
Yeah. Good movie.
This is a radio. No, it's not. This is a. You still have Toby Tomplay playing. There we go. Okay. Was that intentional?
No, but I mean, you couldn't hear it anyway.
I could hear it.
Oh, you couldn't.
How did I know it was still playing?
How could you hear it and I couldn't hear it? I have the same head. I'm listening to the same thing you are.
I'm wearing, maybe it's my Beats headphones, Muse. But I could hear it. How else would I have known it was still playing?
I thought you saw. I thought you saw.
I told
it
you
on
I had still playing.
I thought you saw it on the screen.
I can't see your screen from here.
Oh, whatever.
The 3 monitors block that monitor. I can't see it.
The 3 monitors block the 4th monitor.
Yes, as a matter of fact, they do. You're getting me way off track here, Muse. I got a lot to do here, and I got to do it quickly because we got to get to Kevin Brockway. So stop bothering me, Muse.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah, just stop bothering me. I'm sorry that you're in mourning that the weed bill didn't pass last week. I didn't even know about that. I wish I did.
I didn't either.
Where's Haldane? What did Haldane let me know? How did our news talk guy not tell me that?
Alondra just said I knew about that.
No,
she knew about it too.
I mean, Haldane's office is literally across the hall.
Yeah.
I mean, it's you walk out of this door. You literally walk 3 steps into Haldane's office. He knows every weed joke we do with Muse, and he didn't bother to tell me this. I'm a little mad at him. Missed opportunity, Brain. You're fired. Brain, you are fired.
Hey, the brain got a poop.
Feels good to fire Brain again. It's been a while. All right. Real quick, I'll get to the I want to update you on the SEC football scheduling stuff in just a second. Kylie McDaniel, who is ESPN's MLB, one of ESPN's MLB draft guys, he has updated the MLB draft rankings, his MLB draft rankings. This is going to come as absolutely no surprise to anyone whatsoever, because anyone who has their draft rankings in any other order need not ever have a draft ranking system ever again. But the number one, and they rank them on future value, so the number one prospect is Dylan Cruz. That's in no surprise to anyone. Dylan Cruz, number one. An American League executive who likes to contextualize draft prospects with comparisons had this summation of the LSU slugger. Quote, Cruz is baby Trout. By that he means Cruz is both physically smaller than Trout, but plays the same way, but with less overall ability. Dylan Cruz, number one on the prospect list, as no surprise to anyone at all. Number two, Paul Skeens on the prospect list, followed by Wyatt Langford, the left fielder from Florida. So, who did miss part of the season with what was described as a midsection injury. And by midsection injury, he ruptured a testicle, which sounds absolutely horrifying. God bless him. I'm glad he's back, because as a male human person, I'm mortified for him. So, so that's no surprise whatsoever. Where I kind of get interested with these lists, like we know Paul Skeens and Dylan Cruz, their time at LSU is done after this year. Where I kind of get interested is, okay, where are the other guys, the other LSU guys on the list? LSU players, LSU prospects. For what it's worth, Blake Mitchell, who's a catcher out of Texas, he's the 23rd ranked prospect on this list by Kylie McDaniel. Jordan Thompson is the next current LSU player on the list, and Kylie McDaniel has Jordan Thompson 73rd on the list. So understand, anybody on this list, they're gone. Like, if you're taken in the top 10 rounds, you're going to sign. If you have an associate slot value, they know it. So Thompson, draft year, he's going to sign. They have him as a top 100 overall prospect, 73rd overall, despite those of you who still like to crack on him because you don't know what you're watching. He's a fantastic player who's done a really terrific job this year, and he's going to be a high draft pick, so congrats to him. Cameron Johnson, an LSU commit out of IMG Academy. He's a left-handed pitcher. They have him at 77. Ty Floyd, this is, again, another one where you're looking at drafting ability and prospects and projectability. They have Ty Floyd at 98th on the list. The next Tiger on the list after Ty Floyd, a few spots later, is Trey Morgan at 105 on the list. Trey Morgan has quietly had an amazing season. He's hitting .321, and he's committed. By the way, some of you like to talk about how Trey Morgan isn't an outfielder, makes everything an adventure. Trey Morgan, in about 170 chances this year, has 3 errors. And he's playing a position for the first time in his college career in left field. Trey Morgan has had an outstanding season. So hitting .321, playing great defensively. He's made himself a lot of money by going and playing a very good left field this year. A couple of other ones that are going to be interesting. I hate to see this, but he's going to have a decision to make. It's Grant Taylor. They have Grant Taylor at 117. Of course, Grant Taylor, draft eligible sophomore, and tore his UCL, not pitching this year. He'll have a decision to make. Does he sign, or does he rehab, come back, pitch next year as a junior when he still has leverage, have a great season, then potentially become a first-round pick as opposed to top 5-round pick? We'll see what ultimately he elects to do. And the other guy on the list is Christian Little at 151. Little is a junior, spent 2 years at Vanderbilt, although he's only 19 years old. That's the really interesting thing that we've learned about Christian Little. Very young guy, but was an early enrollee at Vanderbilt, pitched 2 seasons, and now is at LSU at just 19 years old. But physically built, great ability, a guy that likely signs after the season as well because you come back and you lose all your leverage. So we'll see how it goes. Tommy White, not draft eligible. He has to come back. I really think the one on there that's the biggest question mark, that's going to be the most intriguing, is what does Grant Taylor do? Look, Thompson's going to sign. Ty Floyd's going to sign. Trey Morgan's going to sign. Christian Little's going to sign. Like, you just know, Cruz and Skeens are obvious. And then the two, Blake Mitchell and Cameron Johnson, the two LSU commits that are top 100 prospects. Like, it's hard to imagine those guys getting to campus. So stranger things have happened, so we'll see how it plays out. But Grant Taylor's going to be the interesting one. He has the decision to make because he's the only one that could still come back without losing his leverage. He could rehab his UCL, come back, pitch next season, pitch very well, and then potentially be a first-round pick as opposed to wherever he goes in this draft and signing and just starting his pro career. So that's the one of all those on the list I think that we're going to have a conversation about. We're going to have to watch as the draft comes and goes and the signing period thereafter expires. All right, it's after further review. We're glad you're with us. Love telling you about the Williamson Eye Center. And call 924-2020. 924-2020. If you want to see 2020, call 924-2020 for the Williamson Eye Center. Call Dr. Blake Williamson. 3 generations, 71 years in business. It's the Williamson Eye Center. If you need your annual eye exam, Williamson Eye Center can do that at all of their locations, including their newest location in the River Parishes there in Lutcher. If you wear contacts or glasses, they can sell you your contacts or glasses, get your prescription up to date. But remember, if you want to ditch contacts and glasses forever, you want to live your life without contacts and glasses, you want to give yourself liberty and freedom to just wake up in the morning, go about your day, and see perfectly, it's an incredible gift you can give yourself. Call the Williamson Eye Center. Go for that free consultation. Call 924-2020. 924-2020 or williamsoneye.com. I'm up against a break, y'all, because Muse wasted the first 5 minutes of the segment. Totally his fault. Blame him. Muse. Like, I get it.
Here you go again, wasting time.
You're bummed. I mean, I get it. You're bummed about the weed bill.
I'm not. I'm
but
fine.
Don't derail the show as a result. You lost on the weed bill. You lost your bet to me and Cartwright. You're having a bad day.
To Cartwright.
Don't derail the show. Don't derail the show because you're all upset.
It's possible for me to derail the show when you're the host of the show and you lead the show.
What are you doing right now?
Talking to you. If you talk to me first, I'm responding.
I'm not talking to you right now. I'm trying to go to break so we can do our SEC spring recap with Kevin Brockway talking about Florida. Don't worry, Muse. You're 8 minutes away from a break. It's AFR.
AFR.
New Orleans flooring, we talk about them all the time, like literally every day, as a matter of fact. And I tell you all the time about New Orleans flooring and how you need to buy where the pros buy because they've got 1 million square foot of flooring in stock. They could give you the best prices. They can save you 40, 50, 60% on flooring of the same stuff you'll buy elsewhere, just at a massive discount. Like, why would you go anywhere else? One thing I probably don't mention as often as I should is they have 12-month same as cash financing. 12-month interest-free, same as cash financing. I mean, so even if you don't want to pay for the entirety of your flooring today up front, you can pay for it over 12 months. Same as cash. It's New Orleans flooring. They're just the best. 2 locations, Metairie and Airline Highway in Prairieville. If you need flooring, there's no other decision to make. It's New Orleans flooring. Learn more at nolaflooring.com. Again, online at nolaflooring.com.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird. The SEC Spring Recap on After Further Review. The Florida Gators.
All right, let's head down to Gainesville. Kevin Brockway, Gainesville's son, been doing it a long time, covering the Gators. Good enough to jump aboard with us for a few minutes to talk about how the Gators look heading into year two under Billy Napier. Kevin, we appreciate it, man. How are you?
How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Sounds like might be doing a little better here than in Gainesville. Misreading it. What's going on there? General vibe around the Gators heading into year two under Billy Napier.
Well, I think there's concern about the offense, but maybe an optimistic fan would say, Gator fan would say that Austin Armstrong, the new defensive coordinator, they might have something in him, because they did have 8 sacks. I mean, they're touch sacks. They're not, obviously,
sure.
You're not taking down the quarterback. But the fact that they were able to pressure the quarterback and make things a little uncomfortable for both Graham Mertz and Jack Miller maybe tells you a little something about some of the schemes that he's running. And, I would say neither side really showed much, but they showed a little bit. And but there are concerns about the offense, and particularly the quarterback position, if Graham Mertz is going to be the answer. And obviously, losing a talent like Anthony Richardson, you just wonder if, the offense is going to, which was up and down last year, let's be honest, too, is going to take a step forward this year or not.
Kevin, is Graham Mertz like the guy? I mean, is he going to be the starting quarterback this year?
I mean, by all appearances right now, I mean, it's still going to be competition with him and Jack Miller. And there's been talk of adding a third quarterback, whether it be from the transfer portal or, there's some rumblings about players reclassifying, although I don't think that that's likely. So they may try to find somebody else in the transfer portal. But I don't think that there's really anyone out there of the ability of Mertz at this point. So, I mean, I think Graham Mertz is probably going to be your guy. And by all accounts, I mean, he did have a good spring when you talk to the coaches in terms of, his accountability, coming in early, staying late, doing all the things that you need to do as a quarterback to kind of learn an offense and lead a team. The players have really talked about his work ethic. And Jack Miller is a guy, who had his first career start in the Vegas Bowl. It did not go well. They didn't have Osiris Torrance on the offensive line, so he was sacked quite a few times running for his life and others. So that might not have been a fair indication for him. So he'll get an opportunity to show some things as well. And each guy threw a touchdown pass in the spring game. Mertz threw for more yards. So I think it's a competition that will continue into the fall.
You know, Kevin Brockway is our guest, Gainesville Sun. It was also a season where Ricky Pearsall was the leading receiver, and you had Justin Shorter there as well. It's just like it didn't look like, and you tell me if I'm wrong, like the weapons were there on offense outside of Anthony Richardson. Does that change this year? I mean, has Billy Napier stocked the cupboards offensively with skill guys to support the quarterback?
Well, I think in the run game, you've got two guys, Montrell Johnson, obviously the transfer from Louisiana, and Trevor Etienne, who's from Jennings, as you know, another Louisiana kid, who really showed some things in the run game last year in terms of explosive plays. Now, you know, receiver position, you have Pearsall back for another year. Very interesting development was after the spring game, Xavier Henderson left for the transfer portal, so he was a guy with starting experience, and also their punt returner. So they're going to be relying on a lot of young guys. Caleb Douglas, who played as a true freshman last year, I think he had a touchdown in the Texas A&M game. He's a guy that they're going to lean on a little bit more. They have some young receivers in Aiden Mizell and Andy Jean who are promising. Marcus Burke had a touchdown catch in the spring game. So I think that's, you know, the biggest issue I thought with Florida's receivers last year was drops. There were just a lot of drops, and I don't know whether that was a continuity with Anthony Richardson, the fact that he threw kind of a fastball on some screens and intermediate routes. But the one short-handed guy of the bunch is Ricky Pearsall, and he's the one guy who I think you know, really has a chance to continue to blossom in year two. They're trying to sell, or they're trying to count on the fact that with more continuity within the offense is going to produce better results, more consistency, and that will make up for whatever losses that they have on that side of the ball in talent. But we will see.
So flip it over to the defensive side. Patrick Toney's out. Austin Armstrong, you mentioned, in as the new defensive coordinator. How different does the defense look year to year?
Well, I think the pressure on the quarterback certainly was, was noticeable. Another interesting aspect too is Corey Raymond, who you guys know from LSU, is taking over the whole secondary now, whereas Patrick Toney last year was coaching the safeties, and Corey was coaching the cornerbacks. So I think they're hoping for more synergy among the secondary. If you remember the Tennessee game with Trey Dean and all the coverage breakdowns and so forth, that was an issue last year. There was a lot of miscommunication issues back there, and I think they are hoping with Corey Raymond running the whole show back there for the entire secondary and the star position that some of those issues are going to be rectified.
When I look at just the general pressure around Billy Napier, like we all know, Kevin, I mean, in Gainesville, there's not a lot of patience to win. I mean, we saw the end of Dan Mullen come very rapidly. How much pressure is there around Billy Napier in year two?
I think there's a little bit. I still think that there is a feeling of, letting him build, and in terms of, expectations. I think that, I think the fans would like to see progress, though. They don't want to see another 6 and 7 season. They want to see at least 8 or 9 wins. I don't think that they're expecting this to be an SEC East championship team at this point, but they want to see progress. They don't want to see losses to Vanderbilt. They don't want to see losses to Kentucky. They feel like that, those are games that you should, if you're Florida, you should salt away those kind of games every year. And that has not happened of late for whatever reason. And part of that is, certainly, Coach Stoops at Kentucky and him building the program the way he has. And certainly even Clark Lee at Vanderbilt had a really good defensive scheme that day at Vandy, and it was a cold weather game. But, to win the games that, on paper you're supposed to win, I think that's what Florida fans want to see, and then be more competitive, particularly on the defensive side of the ball, in the games against the heavyweights like LSU and Georgia. I mean, you give up, 42 to LSU, 45 to LSU, 42 to Georgia, and 45 to Florida State. That was very frustrating to Gator fans, the fact that they didn't compete on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, that might have been the best LSU's offense looked all year. Quite honestly, was that night in Gainesville. Kevin, you talked about the wins that you should on paper, the wins that they should get. I'd like asking the expectation question, but understanding like a lot's going to change between now and the time they tee it up and kick it off August 31st. There in Salt Lake against Utah. But what is, when you look at the schedule, like what is realistic for Florida in year two under Billy Napier?
I would say 7 to 8 wins is certainly possible. But you gotta, play clean, crisp football, and there's got to be, I think, like some synergy on both sides of the ball. With games when your offense plays well, your defense has to play well at the same time. I think that was a big issue, a lot of times during the course of the season, where you would have games where they would score points, but the defense would let up. I mean, they obviously have to get much better on third down. That was a huge issue for Patrick Toney. Getting teams off the field, because if you do that, I think that you set yourself up a little bit better offensively in terms of just getting more snaps and getting more possessions.
Yeah,
that was a huge issue last year, and that's something that they're hoping that Austin Armstrong, who had really good third down numbers at Southern Miss last year, can replicate. But obviously, it's a big jump up again, to the SEC conference.
He's on Twitter at Kevin Brockway G1. Of course, Kevin Brockway, the Gainesville Sun, covering the Gators, been doing it for a long time there. Hey, man, we'll look for you up in Nashville here in a couple of months. We appreciate the time. Have a great rest of your spring and summer, man.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Our pleasure. Kevin Brockway, the Gainesville Sun. It's after further review. Love telling you about Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Again, it's y'all like, April showers, May flowers, people always say, but April and May, springtime around here is when you have lightning and you have thunderstorms, you have wind and rain, and that's when roof issues a lot of times present themselves. When you need a roofer, trust a local roofer that's been around for more than 20 years. That's Hudco Roofing. Of course, out of Shreveport, Bossier originally, now serving the entire state of Louisiana, a certified, fortified roofing company, Louisiana's first certified, fortified roofing company. Listen, when it comes to trusting the people you do business with, you're talking about a company that I was proud enough to stand with and stand behind and to join them as well. And I strongly encourage, if you have any issue with your roof, from the smallest repair to the largest commercial roof replacement, Hudco does it all. HudcoRoofing.com. You go to the website, get your free inspection right there. You can fill out the form on the homepage. It'll take you 30 seconds. Someone will be in touch with you. A real human will call and be in touch. Or you can call us in the 318, the 225, the 504, the 337, the 985. Just go to the website. You see the phone numbers all across the top of the screen. Hudco Roofing and HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know. That's Hudco Roofing. Interesting here in Kevin Brockway there. I think realistically saying, look, 7 or 8 wins is probably a realistic expectation for Florida. As I kind of look at the schedule, and really, I mean, it's not just, who you play, but when and where you play them. All that matters so much. I look at teams, I look at, all right, what's your schedule, manageable schedule leveraged against, the fewest questions. And Florida has a lot of questions. Like, is Graham Mertz capable? You lose Osiris Torrance on the offensive line. Do you really have enough receiving options there? Breaking in a new defensive coordinator. You open up at Utah. I mean, opening up in Salt Lake on August 31st is a really tough spot to go open your season. You're home against McNeese, home against Tennessee and Charlotte. Then you're at Kentucky, home against Vandy, which you should win, but Vandy beat you last year. You're at South Carolina, one of the surprise teams a season ago, certainly. You play Georgia in the cocktail party. You get Arkansas at home. But you're at LSU, at Missouri, then home against Florida State. And who knows what Florida State's going to be playing for at that point. I could look at, could Florida lose at Arkansas? Could Florida lose to Tennessee? Could Florida lose at Kentucky? Could Florida lose at South Carolina? Could Florida lose to Georgia, LSU, Florida State? Yeah. I mean, you could pretty easily get to 5-7 with that schedule. That's not a prediction. I'm not telling you Florida's going 5-7. I'm just telling you, when you start to look at the pressure on Billy Napier this year, it's there. They're not used to going 6-6, losing a bowl game and being 6-7 in Gainesville. So I get that it's only year 2, but they're not exactly patient down there. They're going to have to make progress. And 7-8 wins from is progress from what you were a year ago. Okay, really enjoying the SEC spring recaps. If you missed any of them, you catch them on demand. Download the After Further Review podcast just on whatever podcast app you use. Just search After Further Review, subscribe up. Of course, you can always check out the AFR YouTube channels as well. AFR LSU, AFR Saints YouTube channels. Get our content there as well. Make sure you subscribe up, smash the like button, all that jazz. We do appreciate it. Okay, it's After Further Review. We will knock out a quick break, do some overrated, underrated. Muse will have Tigers in the pros. Still looking for Alden Cartwright because Muse owes Cartwright and me both dinner after losing the bet yesterday. With what was the number, Muse, that we settled on there?
I owe Cartwright dinner, and the number was 11.
I just asked for a number.
Yeah, well, you got both.
So how many?
You keep telling this lie.
How many run rules have there been now?
12.
So you lose.
Yes, so I owe Cartwright dinner.
And me.
No. We're going to get to the bottom of this. We're going to find Cartwright. We're going to get to the bottom of this.
It's also our Twitter poll question of the day as well.
So go vote for Moose.
Does Musa owe me dinner? The answer is yes, he does. And I am not a cheap date.
Well, I don't have to worry about that because you weren't part of the initial bet.
I'm sorry. Are you derailing the show again? Are you getting me off?
Again, you brought me in on this.
I was getting ready to go to break, and now here you go, just belaboring the point. Dwayne. I'm start calling you Dwayne. That's what you are. Dwayne from Thibodeau.
Ontario.
Oh, God. Go to break. Really go to break now.
AFR.
ProCharge EV, ProChargeEV.com. I was actually on a ProCharge call earlier today with some of the guys. Got some exciting things coming. There are some rental car companies that are in talks with ProCharge right now about installing these chargers at the rental car company places. Obviously, if they rent out electric vehicles, they need to charge the EVs on their lot. So, I tell you all the time, man, if you're a commercial business or own a commercial building, there is no reason not to have an EV charger. Remember, not only will that bring people to your business, maybe you own an apartment complex, an amenity for your tenants. Maybe you own a business, an amenity for your employees. Maybe you're a commercial retail place where you want to bring customers in. It's an amenity for your customers that brings them in. Also, it becomes a revenue generator. There's tap to pay options, so you passively make money having an EV charger at your place. ProChargeEV.com. Go learn more online. ProChargeEV.com. ProChargeEV.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside off the bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come on, live Baton Rouge. I'm ready, what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down to
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
I mean, regrettably, we can check the Citizens Bank and Trust poll question of the day, but I know what's happening right now, Muse, but go ahead.
Yeah, today's Citizens Bank poll question of the day. Does Matt get to join Musso and Cartwright for dinner on Musso? 68.5% say no.
Yeah, and you know what that is? That's
the
all,
correct opinion?
No, you know what that is? That's all the people that listen and don't like me that just they ran to Twitter to go vote. And you know what's going to happen? The pendulum is going to swing, Muse. I'm telling you. The pendulum is going to swing because right is right, wrong is wrong, and justice will prevail here. This aggression will not stand. You owe me dinner. Cartwright's going to join us soon and confirm it. And that poll question, you had your cronies run out. It
was your idea.
And the way you worded it was super confusing.
That was also your idea.
Nope.
Yes.
I just said this is the poll question, and you worded it in a super confusing way.
Nope.
I am way too much of a grammaticist to have a word sandwich like that. That, my friend, alphabet soup, not a fan. Sir.
Don't make me go back and get the tape on that, too.
No, sir. No, sir, at all.
You know what
Not
this
at
is,
all.
Matt? This is the consequences of your own actions. That's what this is.
I'm sorry. I wasn't even here when the wager was made.
Exactly!
And
that's the point!
When I came back, Alden Cartwright invited me in on the wager.
No, he invited you to dinner.
I'm sorry. And since this is a radiotatorship.
There you go.
I had to do it slowly, so I won't say it wrong yet. I almost said radiocracy, which it's not. This is not a radiocracy. This is a radiotatorship. I get to make the rules, and I am in on the bet. And so we won, and you owe us dinner.
Him.
Okay. Let's see. Thank you, Cliff Nelson, who tweeted in agreement with me.
Oh, shocker.
Why is that shocking?
Talk about the cronies. I mean, Cliff's your guy.
He's a fair man. He's a Marine. Are you calling a Marine a liar?
No, I actually like Cliff. I'm just saying.
Jerry DeLucky.
Another one of your guys.
He tweeted, it's good to be the king. I'm telling you. How about Aaron Goldberg? Never met him. Play the tapes. That's what he's saying.
Aaron, we did that earlier.
Yep, and it shows that I am
Go back and listen to the first segment,
bet.
Aaron. 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. Watch ESPN YouTube channel there. Go listen to it. We played the tapes.
R.L. Land. We all heard it. He owes you and Cartwright.
Clearly he didn't, because that was never said.
You lose. What do you call that game?
I win. Yeah. I was like, wait, what? I win.
All right.
3 or 4 or 5.
It's after further review. We are going to talk some Saints with Brooke Kirchhofer in 35 minutes from right now. We'll do some Pluckers trivia, Star Wars trivia tonight at Pluckers for May the 4th. Let me remind you, T-Bob and I are not at Oliver Twist tonight. We will be there tomorrow for May the 4th. So all the Star Wars nerds will unite, and May the 4th be with you and all that stuff. And I'm sure it'll be a hoot. I killed T-Bob last year with a lightsaber, which was maybe the highlight of my radio career. So come join us at Oliver Twist tonight. Go play trivia Star Wars trivia at Plucker, 7:30 Blue Bonnet, 8 o'clock Nicholson. Okay, Muse will have Tigers and the Pros coming up shortly. Right now, though, let's do a little overrated, underrated. Anytime you're ready, Muse. There it is. It's all right.
Overrated. Or underrated.
Hey, Paulie.
I personally think he's criminally underrated.
You act like there was a delay there.
Hey, Paulie.
Yeah.
Did you check the clock recently?
I did not.
Okay. Oh, it makes sense why I was a little delayed on the on hitting the button. Yeah, got it.
I was pulling up my list of overrated, underrated things to ask you.
No, sure. I'm sure you were. That's great.
Lord.
Fire away.
What is going on today? Overrated or underrated? Monopoly.
Oh, Monopoly. Underrated. I'll tell you why, Muse. I'll tell you why Monopoly's underrated. What year was Monopoly founded or released?
Oh, man, 60s, I believe, huh?
Oh, I think it's older than that. Gotta be, huh? Let's see, Monopoly.
40s? There's a video game now.
Monopoly was first published in 1935. I don't care what it is you do in life. If you become cross-generational and create brand equity that allows you to do things like video games, merchandise, that IP, just the Monopoly IP, is incredible. In an era where so many things have gone the way of the dinosaur because of the digital age and era, when you're still relevant, nearly 88 years after you were first published, yeah, you're as big as you are, you're still underrated. Monopoly, underrated.
There's Cinco de Mayo coming up Friday. Overrated, underrated, soft tacos.
You know, someone asked me, Muse, last week to settle a debate with he and his father. Are soft tacos or are they a burrito? What say you? Is a soft taco a taco?
Yes.
Paulie, is a soft taco a taco?
I'll say yes.
Alondra is actually, we're going to the source here. Alondra Villarreal, a soft taco. Is it a taco?
I would say it's a taco.
Thank you very much. Whoever that guy is, your dad, dead wrong, was trying to say it was a burrito. Of course a soft taco is a taco. A burrito is much thicker. It's a big fatter thing. Yes, it's in a soft tortilla shell, a flour tortilla shell, but I don't care about that. That's not the point. The point is the contents of the taco wrapped in a tortilla, be it a corn tortilla or a flour tortilla. You can get soft corn tortillas as well. Oh, by the way, sir, Mr. Old Guy.
And those are awesome, by the way.
Yes, I don't even remember your question. I don't even care. A soft taco is a taco. Next.
But is it overrated or underrated?
Properly rated. I don't care what you like. If you like a soft taco, get it. If you want a hard taco, get it. You do you.
Overrated or underrated? Skydiving.
It's overrated. I've never done it. And before you say, oh, you can't say if you...
I wasn't going to say that.
I wasn't saying you. I'm talking to the audience. I'm not talking to you. What I would like to say is... That came across very rude. I really didn't intend. I didn't intend for that to be rude. I'm sorry, Muse. That was a little aggressive. I'm sorry. It was not intended to be aggressive at you. I was being very staunch in my stance on this. And you just got in the way. Yeah. Like I was a dump truck rolling down the street. You just got in the way.
On the tracks of the train.
That's all. That's all it was. Yeah. I mean. Anyway. If there's a chance that you could die doing something that you don't have to do, generally anything that is thrill-seeking that could kill you, that's while I understand that's still an extreme end, potential outcome, it does not outweigh, the thrill does not outweigh the risk. So whatever thrill you're seeking, it's overrated because you could die. So no thank you. Overrated.
That's overrated or underrated.
This is After Further Review. We're brought to you by Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Michelli.com, Michelli.com, with 29 offices across 11 different states. Actually, I think we're now up to 30 because I was talking to Joel on Sunday at the LSU baseball game. Joel McMullen and Sean, they came in for the game. We got to hang out, watch LSU beat Bama. And Joel was telling me that as of Monday, their latest acquisition in Santa Barbara. I remembered it because of the banana slugs. Isn't that Santa Barbara? The banana slugs? Isn't it? UC Santa Barbara? Yeah. Anyway, in Santa Barbara, California, the latest acquisition there of Michele Weighing and Measurement. Now 30 offices across 11 different states. If you weigh or measure something, they'll sell, service, rent the products you use to weigh and measure. If it's agriculture, if it's petrochemical, if it's food and beverage, all the machines that you use that need to be calibrated, they do all of it. I so strongly recommend going to the website, Michele.com, Michele.com, to get a list of everything that they do. It's a great resource. Michele Weighing and Measurement, Michele.com, Michele.com. All right, y'all. It's after further review. Brooke Kirchhofer will talk some Saints in about 30 minutes from right now. We are still looking for Alden Cartwright. We'll see if we can find him, hopefully coming up after the top of the hour. And we will talk a little bit about last night's baseball game as LSU blanked Southeastern. We'll let you hear from Jay Johnson as the Tigers are getting ready to head to the Plains to take on Auburn. All right, it's after further review. Muse has Tigers in the Pros to wrap up hour number 2 next.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Rouse's. Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. As you start, I don't know how you do grocery shopping in your home, but at ours, usually Erica does the grocery shopping on Friday. So all throughout the week, she'll put together the list, etc. Keep in mind, you can get the weekly ads with all the coupons and the discounts at Rouse's.com. Go to the website or the mobile app. You'll see it right at the top, the weekly ad or the coupon right there. Cinco de Mayo is on Friday. So if you're going to be doing chips and guac, tacos, burritos, quesadillas, margaritas, you can get everything you need. How was the pronunciation, Alondra? See? That's what 40 years of Spanish will get you. That and a whole lot of forgotten Spanish. You can get it all at Rouse's. The official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Mother's Day is around the corner as well. You get your cakes and all the good stuff for Mom. It's at Rouse's. The official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's. This feels like home.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $15,000 off all new 2022 1500 SCA trucks. And all new Bayou automotive vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Turn my music high, 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 yeah.
You don't know what you're doing.
Sure I do. I'm from the streets where the hood can swallow on me. Bullets will follow on me. There's so much that you could run the slalom. And cops comb this top to bottom. They say that we are prone to violence, but it's home sweet home. Where personalities clash and chrome meets chrome. Prices up and down like this Wall Street.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz vans.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week. Where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2. Let's do it. Muso. Tigers in the pros. Ollie. It's getting worse. At lag
Tigers
time.
in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where Baton Rouge gets engaged.
Awesome night for Jake Fraley last night for the Cincinnati Reds.
You got the music really loud. Muse, just read the one in the middle.
Yeah, anyway, great night for Jake Fraley last night for the Cincinnati Reds. Played both left field and right field, but what he did at the plate stole the headlines. 2 for 4 for Fraley.
Why is the camera on me? Put it on mute. Oh, thank you. Alondra, are you
put
switching?
Fraley up there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, put Fraley up. No, Alondra's learning. So Alondra's training on video. I looked up. I'm like, why am I on camera putting Muse on camera? It's okay, Alondra. You're learning. That's fine. Muso has no excuse. He's been here forever.
1 RBI. That's not forever. Not forever.
It just feels like forever on days like this.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it does. 1 RBI for Fraley. It was his 17th of the season. The Reds got the victory as well. DJ LeMahieu last night. Yep. Okay, well,
I mean,
that's annoying.
I mean, Muse.
That's annoying. The mouse was sticking.
Not helping your
the mouse was sticking. 1 for 4 for
of
DJ.
Of all the days to have a sloppy day on the board.
What? Why is today bad? April 20th would have been the worst day to have the sloppy day on the board.
Oh, man. Oh, I got tears.
DJ went 1 for 4 last night.
Got a boy, DJ.
Drove in a run, 13th RBI on the year. And hey, look at that. The Yankees got themselves one.
Well, I mean, you put Garrett Cole on the bump, you're gonna
win the majority.
Generally, you're gonna have a good day.
You would hope, at least.
Happy Garrett Cole Day to all those that celebrate.
There you go. There you go. And look, some news out of the NFL today as well. Wait, sorry. Enough of Go DJ there. Some news out of the NFL. We told you a few weeks ago that Al Woods and the Seahawks are going their separate ways. But it looks like Al Woods has a new home.
Okay.
Connor Hughes of SNY reports that the New York Jets are set to sign defensive tackle Al Woods to their 90-man roster. Of course, Woods spent the last few years in Seattle. You remember he opted out of the 20 season with the Jaguars due to COVID. And started.
Did you say Corvid?
Yeah, and started 30 games Started 30 games over the last 2 seasons.
I'm sorry.
89 tackles, 3.5 sacks, or passes the fence. Now going to be a member of the New York Jets.
What did I miss?
I don't know.
Corvid?
Corvid.
Do people say Corvid?
Maybe. I don't know. Corvid.
Like nuclear or nuclear?
Yeah. There you go.
COVID or Corvid?
Corvid. Just add the R.
Muse, how high are you? I mean, what in the world?
I'm actually fine. I'm not high at all. Never high. It's just
he's just giggling a lot.
Story you've concocted.
Really delayed on all the drops.
It's not
making
really
up words.
Delayed.
I mean,
anyway, that's Tigers in the Pros.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. Tigers in the Pros is presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com. Gentlemen, thrill her with a gift in the red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. I love telling you about Lee Michaels. Mother's Day is around the corner. Guys, treat mom great. She'll be thrilled with a gift from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. And if you're not sure what to get, no matter your budget, they've got you covered. It's Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. 2 locations in Baton Rouge, Corbett Boulevard in Bocage, and in the Mall of Louisiana. 9 locations in all from New Orleans and Lafayette and Shreveport, even outside of Louisiana. Learn more at lmfj.com. lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. We found him. We found him.
Who'd you find?
Alden Cartwright.
Cartwright
Will join us after the top of the hour. He will come and take his victory lap as he and I have beaten you in our wager.
He beat me.
And we will we'll get to the bottom of this, of you trying to weasel your way out of it, Muse. One guy on Twitter has come to your defense. I'm sure you're going to be thrilled about this. His Twitter name is Ebone.
Sounds like a stand-up guy.
Eric Swiller. He said, he tweeted at me. He said, Muso owes you nothing, you dweeb. Go watch a Star Wars movie. Hashtag nerd-asar.
I like this guy a lot, actually. Thanks, Eric.
Just to clarify, his name is Ebone. He got me confused with T-Bob. He's the Star Wars guy. And on his Twitter profile, he says he collects pops and he's a cat dad. And I'm the dweeb. He's a cat dad who collects pops. Muse, this is who you have defending you. A cat dad. What a loser.
AFR.
But respect to anyone that owns a cat. We're brought to you by Traction, TractionSports.com, TractionSports.com. Hey, remember, they are enrolling right now for the Traction Summer Baseball League. League starts in June, so you got about a month here, but TractionSports.com, TractionSports.com. Tap the Louisiana location. Scroll down. You see the Summer Baseball League. Opening day is June 5th. Game nights are Mondays, and practice nights are Fridays. So less intense than what you have a lot of times during spring leagues, but Traction Summer Baseball League, they are registering right now, ages 3 and up, 3 for T-ball and up. And maybe the best part is if you don't play at Traction during the spring, and you're in a different league or different organization, you can play Traction during the summer. So register right now. Registration's open. Get on by and learn more at TractionSports.com. TractionSports.com. Traction, where champions are made.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. NBA MVP Joel Embiid is ready to return from a sprained knee. The 76ers star center plans to play in Game 2 of the Eastern Conference semifinals tonight against the Celtics, barring any setbacks with that knee. Embiid, who missed the Game 1 win, appears to be trending in the right direction for tonight, according to Coach Doc Rivers.
Yeah, I mean, he looked great today in shoot around. You know, obviously we still have to wait. So I'm hoping he plays. You know, I think we're leaning that way for sure.
Game 2, 7:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio. Lionel Messi will leave PSG at the end of the season when his contract expires. Sources told ESPN there's an offer from Saudi Arabia for him, as well as interest from Barcelona and Major League Soccer's Inter Miami. A pair of Game 1s coming up tonight as the two other second-round Stanley Cup playoff series begin. Devils Hurricanes at 7 Eastern on ESPN TV, followed by Connor McDavid and the Oilers visiting the Golden Knights. The Negro Leagues Baseball Museum has started a drive for a new $25 million facility to house its education center and one of the world's unique collections of baseball memorabilia.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career you'll love with flexibility, great pay, and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces? Come join their growing team. Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yusso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Yep.
It's hump day.
LSU blank Southeastern.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Run ruled them too.
Hump day.
That makes 12.
It's hump day.
That means Musso owes me dinner.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Wrong.
We have found Alden Cartwright. He'll join us in just a second.
It's hump day.
Brooke Kirchhofer talking some Saints in about 12 minutes.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
By the way, Brooke and Nick Underhill had Tyrann Mathieu in studio on their pod.
Hump day.
Find out what they talked about.
It's hump day.
We talked about some high-priced undrafted free agents.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
We talked about booze with Taylor Calandro.
Hump day.
We did our Florida SEC spring recap.
It's hump day.
We learned Monopoly was published in 1935.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Got my what we learned today, Muse.
Hump day.
If we ever do it again.
It's hump day.
All right, let's get going. I also learned that Muse's number one supporter is a collector of pops and a self-described cat dad, Eric Swiller. I'm sure his folks are super.
Seems like a nice guy. He really
seems like a great guy.
He seems like an awesome guy.
Actually,
I appreciate him being in my corner. The corner of justice.
He seems super aggressive and like angry on Twitter and not cool at all.
Isn't that everybody on Twitter?
Kind of. Yes,
Yeah.
but not everyone on Twitter puts in their profile that they're a cat dad and they collect pops and they're calling other people dweebs. That's kind of
the Louis Armstrong story.
No, not the Louis Armstrong story. Starring Reno Wilson?
That's the one.
Got it. All right. I'm not explaining that joke. If you don't get it, I'm sorry. I'm just going to keep going. Okay. We have found the man of the hour, Mr. Alden Cartwright. Cartwright, how are you?
I am great because I'm now like thinking about what steak I want, how many old fashions I'm gonna drink, go freaking Whistle Pig Rye in there just because. You know, we're going just a big time on that. I mean, look, I threw a lofty, like I gave Musso a mile, and LSU. Oh, by the way, they can last this long. You know, are they gonna keep going? Can they still score runs and blank people? Suck it, Matt Reiser.
Oh.
You know?
Oh, wow. Okay. By the way, I happen to like Matt Reiser. Good coach, good human.
I happen to like Russell Reynolds.
That's
I'm a
fine.
Fan of that. I'm all over it.
That's fine. Okay. We talked about their little tete-a-tete yesterday from 2017.
Soft.
No, in the heat of the moment, okay, whatever. You can call it what it was. That was still 6 years ago. Matt Reiser was a 32-year-old coach at the time. Probably the same age as Russell Reynolds when he was playing at LSU. So by that
the
point,
Rusty Rock.
By that point, respect to Russell Reynolds and his faux hawk. It was. I mean, we all get rock. It's good.
It was awesome.
But it's all good. All right, so Cartwright.
The Rock has a pebble now though, so he's a little more mellowed out.
Okay, so all right, this is the moment. All right, Cartwright. So, we went back and dug up the original audio. Actually, Muse, can we play this again? Okay, this was the original. I was not here. Musso was filling in. He had you on the show, and this was the conversation the two of you had.
Okay. All right. Perfect. That works for me.
That was the end of it. And Musso, look, it's past 4:20, Cartwright.
Let's make a bet.
We got to be
okay.
Okay.
Over or under 12 10-run rules for LSU this year with the new rules.
Well, they're already at 1.
Let's make it 9, and I'm going to take the over.
Okay, I'll take under. I'll take under. Right. Not overly confidently, but I'll take the under. Okay, that's fine. It's fine.
All right. We'll put it more in your favor. And we'll stick with 12, and I'll still take. And we'll go 11. I'll take the over.
I like it.
And,
11, perfect.
Make it a little better. We'll take a dinner of your choice.
Okay.
All right. Perfect.
So that was the wager. So Cartwright, you've won now. They've hit 12. What is the dinner of your choice?
Oh, we're going to do, and since I was going to pick Ruth Chris, but I was just there in Lafayette, and we had a fantastic dinner. Hunter Newman actually joined me.
Sounds
that was
great.
Awesome. Yeah, so we're going to do Fleming's instead.
So Hunter Newman joined you. Did Hunter Newman buy his own dinner?
No.
Okay.
I took a client out, and so I picked up the tab.
Okay. And so then you were on the show after I was back. I learned of the wager, and this happened. We've already gotten the run rule.
So Musso owes me dinner now?
No. We set it at 11, I think, Cartwright. So
wait, when did you all set an over under?
One day when I was filling in for you, we talked to Cartwright and we set one. I think it was.
You
after
haven't told Matt
1.
about this?
No, it hadn't come up.
Where's dinner?
I'll let Musso choose, and Matt, you can come with us. Oh, damn! I let him choose.
Well, no. You're choosing. We go to Flint.
So now we do have a bit of a conflict.
Because I got to buy you dinner too, Matt.
No,
look at that.
Hold on. So who's picking the dinner spot now? Because in the second cut, you said Musso could pick. The original wager, which was agreed upon, was Cartwright, or winner chooses, and then you are now the winner, but in the second bite, you said Musso could choose.
How about I give Musso a pick of 3 and he chooses?
I mean, we can go to Fleming's. That's fine. I don't care.
Well, no, I'm going to give you a pick of 3, and then you choose from the 3.
All right. And Musso is buying for me as well.
That's not true.
I mean, I think that's the bet. I think Cartwright invited me into the dinner and into the bet, and this is how it works in a radio tatership.
Nope. He invited you to dinner
as part of the bet.
You have to be present when the bet was made.
There's no rule. You show me where that says it.
That's the rule of every bet.
That is not in the Geneva Convention at all.
It is in the Geneva
You are
Convention.
wrong about that. All right, Cartwright. So I get to go. Muso buys for you and me. We've agreed on this?
No.
I feel bad for Muso in this case because I think if we really play the second audio, and I'm too nice of a guy, I'm pretty sure I said if I win, obviously Muso's paying for my dinner, and I would pick up Matt's tab.
You did not say that you would pick up the tab. You just said, Matt, you could come.
Oh, good. All right, yeah, Muso's got it.
Whoa!
Got it! There it is! Okay, it is settled. We'll get a date. We'll
Cartwright?
go. Cartwright, how are we feeling about the Tigers? A little run rule last night, back-to-back series sweeps. Yeah. Some of the natives are restless, man. Not too happy with the pitching right now. How you feeling?
I mean, they're winning. I mean, you can't really get restless until you're losing for a period of time. I mean, how many was it? Six or seven SEC wins in a row?
7.
7 SEC wins in a row, going into the back half against several teams that aren't favorable. And I don't care how bad this all shakes out. You know, Skeens is going to get his, and we're going to win one of the next 2 games. It's just this offense is too good. They're going to score too many runs. I've been hearing this stat. Is it true that in games that LSU has scored 8 or more, or given up less than 8 runs, they win the game?
I have no idea.
All right, if someone can help me with that. But it is people that are. It's unbelievable. It's like when LSU is really good. You know, some of the faithful still can't just be excited and just respect what's going on. That you might not ever see an LSU baseball team this good again. It's kind of like the 2019 football team, except they got to finish it off.
That's the key, obviously. I mean, they've got to. You got to do it, and it's exactly. It's baseball. Yeah. It's a weird sport where weird things happen. You can hit a ball 400 feet, it's an out. You can hit a ball 4 feet, and it's a single. It's a weird game, but it's why we love it. And this is the best team in America. That's why they're consensus #1, and they've got plenty enough to win it all. Just a matter if they can go do it. Every team has flaws. Every team has warts. You just got to play good ball for 10 days in Nebraska and try to win a natty. So, all right, Cartwright, I'm looking forward to dinner on Muse. We'll do it soon.
All right, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited.
All right, man, be well. That's Alden Cartwright, former LSU pitcher. His victory lap today as he has beaten Muse in the bet they set while I was not here, but completely just like shoehorned my way into. And I'm really excited about Muse buying.
We'll see about that part of it.
It's after further review. Let's head to NOLA. We'll talk to Brooke Kirchhofer. We'll talk some Saints when we come back. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Darren James and Associates, brokered by eXp Realty. Every home listed by every company all in one place. You know where to find them. It's at agent225.com. That's agent225.com. I got to give a big, gigantic shout out to my guy, Darren James. I know I do this a lot. He won't toot his own horn, so I'll do the tooting for him. Darren James recently was just honored as America's most honored real estate professionals. This award was given for professional recognition, accomplishment realized by top American professionals in 2023. Darren James, America's most honored real estate professionals. When I tell you, why would you hire anyone else other than the realtor that sells more homes, that gets more honors because of all of the work that he does and has a way of making you feel like you were his only client? It's Darren James. Agent225.com. Agent225.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Until then, I spend my money up right down on my
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-7.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
By the way, it's Star Wars trivia tonight over at Plucker's for May the 4th. So 7:30 Blue Bonnet, 8 o'clock Nicholson. Get your nerd on and go win some Plucker's gift cards over at Plucker's for Star Wars trivia. Drafts in the rearview mirror. Let's head down to NOLA. Brooke Kirchhofer joins us, WWL-TV, also NewOrleans.football, hosting the podcast now with Nick Underhill and the guys. Brooke, we appreciate it. How are you?
Hey, Matt. Good to hear you. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Appreciate the time as always. Let's start by going back, then we'll look forward. General overview of the 3-day draft. How did the Saints do?
Oh, they did great. Look, the biggest need was met, which was the defensive line. They went into the draft, whether they would say it or not. They didn't have a starting defensive tackle on the roster. They now add Brian Brzee from Clemson, who I know a lot of people are concerned with injuries with him. But that last injury has been away for quite some time. They bring in a good character guy for the locker room. And you just look at some of his intangibles. He might be someone that starts right away. Then you bring in your edge rusher, right, in Isaiah Foskey. You got him at 40. You also got Brzee at 29. And then you add in a running back, Kendre Miller at 71, which you didn't have to move up for the 3 of those. And then they hit a home run on the final day. They moved up 3 times. They get a guard from Old Dominion, Nick Saldiveri, who, just from the tape that we've seen, he could be coming for some starting jobs. And, of course, we saw the Saints did not pick up Cesar Ruiz's 5th-year option. Right. That could have something to do with it. They get a quarterback. We don't know much about the safety yet. And, of course, they get a steal with A.T. Perry, wide receiver from Wake Forest, who fell pretty far in the draft.
You know, so I echo everything that you just said. I love what they did. The most obvious hole that remains, I think, would be tight end, especially with trading Adam Troutman away. I saw y'all talked about this on the pod, but just give me a sense of what you think, you being around the organization, what they're going to do there, Brooke, because, I mean, they can't just go into the season with Juwan Johnson and Taysom Hill. I mean, they got to add bodies there. What do they do?
I think they're actually going to go and try to find a veteran in free agency. I don't think they're going to try and expect a young tight end to start right away. They do have tight end 1, which is a good thing. Juwan Johnson has made that transition. And just think back a few years ago, undrafted free agent, who had a much smaller frame. He has completely changed his body to move from wide receiver to tight end. He's proven that he deserves that starting tight end one role. I don't think Taysom Hill is going to line up at all at tight end. We'll see how his kind of dynamic role shifts as more of a, in the run game a little bit, but I don't think he's going to be a tight end. So, yes, you're absolutely right. They need to bring in another tight end with Adam Troutman on his way to Denver, and I think they do it by going and getting one of those veteran tight ends that are on the market right now.
Hey, go back to Juwan Johnson for a second. So it's interesting. You mentioned him changing his body. Obviously he was a receiver at Penn State, then transferred to Oregon, and has sort of morphed into a tight end with the Saints. Do you think the Saints change their approach at tight end? I mean, we know what Sean Payton liked to do, right? Where we'd always have two tight ends, sort of like the Who man, right? Michael Ho'omanawanui or Dan Arnold, those type guys, and then you had the pass catcher as well. Is that what we'd expect from the Saints to continue with those sort of like two tight end looks?
Yeah, I think so. And the Saints have never been shy on what they like their tight ends to do, which is kind of surprising. That was started by Sean Payton, of having your tight ends be incredibly involved in the run game. And Adam Troutman is now heading to Denver to get a little bit more of that continuing to going with Sean Payton. But no, I think the Saints they believe in the wide receivers they have, and they believe in Alvin Kamara and now the backup running back. So I don't think it's going to be tight end heavy. I think that they can have success with Juwan Johnson and Taysom Hill if they both stay healthy. So, I'm curious to see who they bring in that can bring in that other role. Like, you get a different kind of tight end, right? Like, do you go traditional Juwan Johnson, big frame, good blocker, or do you maybe get more of a dynamic tight end in free agency? We'll see what happens.
Brooke Kirchhofer is with us. She's on Twitter at Brooke Chesney. I'll give her a follow. Of course, WWL, and also joining the guys over at NewOrleans.football. Flip it over to the defensive side. I was really interested in what they did with some of the undrafted free agents. Where do you think, as we head toward minicamp, and then ultimately OTAs, where is the opportunity for some of those undrafted free agents on the defensive side?
So you mentioned needs. Tight end is on the offense. Linebacker is on the defense. They did not replace Caden Ellis, in the draft. Of course, he's now headed over to the Dirty Birds to play for the Falcons. They didn't replace him in the draft. They did add a young, shorter linebacker in Nick Anderson. He is 5'9". That is believed to be why he fell out of the draft. The Saints have liked him during the last few months, though. They've been in a lot of conversations with him. New Orleans has kind of become home for this Tulane linebacker. And remember, I mean, you know him well, Matt. 5'9" linebacker has thrived in the Saints defense before. Sam Mills, that is somebody he wants to emulate. I talked to Nick actually about that yesterday, and he is somebody he has studied a ton of his film. And he wants to come in and he wants to prove that he can be Sam Mills-esque. Now, there's only one Sam Mills, but Nick Anderson believes he can come in and make the team. And his strength and conditioning coach, Kurt Hester, who's been training athletes for the NFL and getting them ready for the NFL Combine. He's been doing this for 30, 40 years. He told me that Nick Anderson is going to make it hard for the Saints to cut him because he's going to do everything right on the locker room, on the field, and on special teams. He told me the other day he's played 4 or 5 different positions on special teams for all 4 years at Tulane, and I think that ultimately will get him a spot on the 53.
Hey, I want to ask a follow-up on Nick, because I honestly just never got to see him play at Tulane. So many Saturdays we're just like so heavily focused on LSU.
Right.
So give me like a thumbnail on Nick Anderson. Like what type of player, if you had to describe him? I mean, the Sam Mills comp because of the size, obviously, but like, is he a thumper? Is he a turn and run guy? Is he athletic edge rush? Like, what kind of player is he?
He plays bigger than his size. He plays bigger than 5'9". And what's really grabbed the Saints' attention about his play is tackling in space and even tackling some big guys in space. Remember, they had some success against Oklahoma, Ole Miss, and especially Kansas City. He's going to be somebody who can provide that extra push at linebacker for the Saints. If anybody gets out in open space, you can expect Nick Anderson to get over there and tackle them and not have to wait for your safeties to get to that. So I think that's maybe a part of his game that maybe the Saints like.
I want to ask about quarterback. I mean, it's just what I can have a conversation about the draft when the Saints take a quarterback and not talk about it. Did you think, or have you heard ear to ground, if the Saints, we know they took Jake Haener in round 4, were they considering a quarterback at any other spot in the draft that you're aware of?
Conversations, look, for any NFL team, I think it's fair to say all 32 teams were looking at a potential backup for years to come. Any NFL team is going to approach the draft in that way. The Saints were approaching the draft just like the other 32 teams when it came to looking for a backup quarterback, but they felt comfortable with Jake Haener. Remember, they went up to get Jake Haener from Fresno State. Yeah. He has a history with the Saints, with Drew Brees, with Derek Carr, and of course he worked with Ronald Curry at the Senior Bowl. So for them, he seemed like the right guy to sit back and learn, figure out this offense, and who knows, maybe in a few years he is competing for that job.
What do you think the plan? I mean, is that a draft and stash type deal where he's just stashed on the practice squad for a year, or is this? I mean, is that a player that you would fear if you try to stash him on the practice squad could get signed? I'm just trying to think of how they've handled situations with, quarterbacks they've drafted in the past. It was an Ian Book or a Garrett Grayson.
Right. Well, you hope he doesn't get thrown into the Ian Book situation. I think all Saints fans have nightmares of that Dolphins game. Good Lord. And you had no offensive line throwing in a rookie quarterback. I don't think that's going to be the case with Jake Haener. I think they're going to develop him, and I don't think he's going to see the field this year. Maybe even just who knows how much in the preseason, just because it seemed like even from talking with Jake Haener, the Saints want to really work on him and develop him as a young quarterback. They don't want to rush anything with this guy because they have full belief in Derek Carr, and they arguably have the best backup quarterback in the NFL with Jameis Winston. So there's really no need to force the issue with Jake Haener. No reason to speed up his development process.
Hey, Brooke, before you go, I didn't prep you on this. I don't know if you know it off the top, but schedule moving ahead. I know the rookie minicamp dates are out there, but what's ahead for the Saints in the coming weeks and months?
Oh, you just stumped me. So I do know that rookie minicamp is next week. We are going to hear from, rookie minicamp is next week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
Saturday, we will hear from Dennis Allen, and then, of course, OTAs will follow that. And look, a lot of these guys that are entering year 2 in New Orleans weren't here for OTAs last year. We actually just talked with Tyrann Mathieu on the show that is dropping tonight, and he said he reminded us really that he wasn't here this time last year, and just how much further the defense is along this offseason specifically. He gets into that and talks about that on our show. So I think it's going to be a really fun offseason covering these guys, and we're looking forward to bringing you guys all the coverage.
So, I saw the tweet, by the way. There's the photo. I think Nick posted the photo of Nick, Brooke, and Tyrann in studio there recording the New Orleans Football podcast. So that drops tonight. Can you give us any other tidbits on or teasers on what Tyrann had to say?
So you might have saw Tyrann Mathieu tweet about basketball recently, right? Yeah. Trying to get some of the guys in some pickup games. There's a player on the Saints roster that you would not expect to hear was a big part of that and was actually dominating. He's one of the older heads.
Okay.
And it's not Cam Jordan because he's insane.
Okay.
So be on the lookout for that. And, Matt, you might know this. Him and Joe Woods go back because when the Honey Badger was coming out of LSU, he was one of Joe Woods' first interviews when he was in the NFL.
Very interesting. Okay.
So get into that as well. And let me apologize to everybody over there in Baton Rouge with Matt Moscona's show. I promise you Dome Patrol posters last time we talked. I had it in hand. Let me just tell you this. I had it in hand. The guys I work with can attest to this. I'm walking out with these posters, and torrential rainpour just demolishes them. So I owe you guys some Dome Patrol posters.
I have good news. Somebody came through for me. I forgot who it was. Do you know who came through? Do you remember the news? Somebody came through.
I don't remember who it was.
It was wrinkled, and it's still in my office under books flattening out, but I did manage to score a Dome Patrol poster. So I'd completely forgotten that you owed me.
Cool gear this year.
Well, you just I would have totally forgotten Brooke, so you would have been good until you just outed yourself. But no worries.
I just outed myself. It is what it is.
All's well that ends well. Brooke on Twitter at Brooke Chesney, Brooke Kirchhofer, WWL, and the New Orleans Football podcast. Check it out. We appreciate it. Thanks, Brooke.
Thanks, Matt.
All right, be well. It's After Further Review. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. Love telling you about South Point Volkswagen and SouthPointVW.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at SouthPointVW.com, SouthPointVW.com. Remember, if the vehicle you're looking for, or specifically the color or the options that you're looking for, if they don't have it on the lot, they'll find it. They'll find it somewhere nearby, get it shipped here, or you can build your own vehicle with whatever specifications you want. It's South Point Volkswagen, Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealers. Nobody moves more new Volkswagens than South Point Volkswagen, which means they also have a fantastic certified pre-owned vehicle. If you're interested, you can always go to the website, hit the used vehicle tab at the top, see the drop down, and you'll see all the vehicles, not just Volkswagens. You can search by year, make, body style, price, all of it right there at South Point Volkswagen. Work out your financing online, SouthPointVW.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. It's a hump day edition of AFR, which means we're brought to you by Pluckers, which means we, in the 5 o'clock hour, always get to a little Pluckers trivia. Tonight is Star Wars trivia. And Muse, you've brought in a ringer for Star Wars trivia.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're nervous to not go it alone?
Absolutely. I would go for 3.
Have you never watched any of the Star Wars movies?
I think I've watched 1.
Which one?
I have no idea. I was young and yep.
Okay, cool.
Wasn't my thing.
Okay. Well, you're going to have help. And I would actually submit that the person that you're bringing in studio, that if anybody wants to go to Pluckers tonight, like, you should bribe this man to join your team.
Probably.
Because you will win everything. And you'll win all of the gift cards and all of the prizes and all of the everything. We will do a little Pluckers trivia when we continue. Otter locks in about 15 minutes. I didn't even bother to check, Muse, how the Otter did. Last week was rough. I just kind of averted my eyes. I just keep hitting submit on my bets every time he gives them, just knowing we're going to turn it around eventually.
I like the blind faith. I really do.
I'm riding with it, man.
Yeah.
Riding with my guy.
That's what you should do.
Or not do, considering how it's been going. All right, it's AFR. AFR brought to you by the Renaissance Hotel in Southtown Baton Rouge, right there on Bluebonnet near I-10. And, of course, the Watermark in downtown. Baton Rouge's 2 premier hotel properties, both downtown and Southtown. Whatever vibe you're looking for, they've got it at either place. You want the elegance of downtown Baton Rouge in the old style of Baton Rouge's original skyscraper, which was the Louisiana National Bank building. It's now been converted into the Watermark Hotel. It is gorgeous. They've preserved so much of the marble, the artwork, the etchings there in the lobby. It's fantastic. If you've never been inside the Watermark, just go inside the Watermark to walk around and look around because it's that cool. The bar is a great place to sit and have a cocktail after work. They have Saturday and Sunday brunch at the Watermark as well. And remember, the Renaissance is a great spot for whatever size event you're looking to host. And you can always check out Tallulah inside the Renaissance Hotel. The Watermark and the Renaissance, 2 great properties here in Baton Rouge.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further. like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, rolling along. It is a hump day here on AFR. Been a really good show. You miss anything, AFR On Demand presented by Breck Golf. You can book your teatimegolf.breck.org. Muso lost a wager. He owes me and Alden Cartwright dinner. That's going to be awesome.
Cartwright.
Saints have signed some undrafted free agents. We went through that. Thanks to Brooke Kirchhofer for joining us. We checked in with Florida, SEC Spring Recap. Man, we got to a lot today. MLB Draft Prospect Rankings. Grant Taylor, probably the one that you're going to keep an eye on. Coming off of Tommy John, does he come back? He's a draft-eligible sophomore, so does he come back? Does he go pro? We'll keep an eye on that as we move throughout the summer. Okay, of course it is Wednesday. We do Plucker's Trivia here, where we lob some questions at our friend Matthew Muso here. And usually he bombs. He's pretty terrible at this. Every now and again, though, we find a category that is Muso's sweet spot. And we've had some success at times. But mostly it's pretty much an exercise in futility. Today, Muse, you didn't even bother going at this alone. Tomorrow is May the 4th. So the Star Wars nerds unite because, May the 4th be with you and all that sort of stuff. It's really just an excuse to put on their Star Wars garb and nerd out. We'll be at T-Bob and I. No scone and tea tonight. We've moved it to tomorrow for May the 4th because, of course. Anyway, Plucker's Trivia tonight. The theme is Star Wars. And last time we had a Star Wars theme use, you called T-Bob.
Yeah.
And he bombed.
That was terrible. It was a bad decision on my part.
So you brought in the big guns.
Oh, yeah. We're going all out. Went down to Eagle 98.1 on the second floor. Got our guy Chuck P in here for it.
Here he is, ladies and
Star
gents.
Wars czar Chuck P.
Czar, that's a big word right there.
The one and only Charles D. Pierce, a.k.a. Chuck P., knower of all things nerd. I mean, when T-Bob bombed on the Star Wars trivia last time, we called Chuck P., and it was effortless.
Yeah.
It was child's play is what it was. And, I think this is a great point here, Chuck P. And I talk about this like with fans a lot. I don't like the fans that make it about themselves.
Right.
Like if you dress up to go to a game, I don't like you. Because it's not about the team. It's about everybody looking at you.
Right. You want that attention.
You're no better than the fan in section 632 who's bought season tickets forever and goes and just puts on a Saint shirt or an LSU shirt and cheers for his team, his or her team. You know what I mean? You're no better.
Yeah, I agree.
What? Just because you dressed up today? Just because you put on a costume, you're no better.
Never got into the cosplay thing. I never got that.
So I'd say the same thing with Star. So we all look at him like, oh, T-Bob, big Star Wars guy. He walks around in a Luke Skywalker outfit with a lightsaber, yada, yada, yada. And then you start asking him Star Wars questions. Doesn't know nothing. You know who got it? My guy walking around here with a Santa Claus beard and a black shirt. That's who got it. Chuck P. All right, Muse. Here we go. 3 questions. Do you even want to try, Muse, or are we just going to...
No, we're just going to defer to Chuck P.
Oh, I say you try at least.
His
just take
answers
a guess.
are my answers.
Okay. Muse. Lando Calrissian served as Baron Administrator of Cloud City, a gas mining colony situated high above the surface of which gas giant? Look at Chuck. He's like, can I say it? Can I say it?
Well, this was one of the questions you asked last time.
Was it?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
the answer
brought it back.
Yeah, the answer is Bespin.
It is Bespin. Correct. Correct.
That's what I would have said.
I will tell you the next 2 are certainly not ones that were asked last time.
Okay.
This will be impressive, but I have no doubt he's going to get it. Muse, during Return of the Jedi, the second Death Star is orbiting what celestial body?
So this is after it blew up the other one in the other movie? Is it different?
That'd be episode 4, A New Hope, yes.
Yeah, okay. Well, wait, that was Alderaan, right? That it blew up or something like that?
It did. I'll give you should get credit for that. Alderaan was destroyed in episode 4.
See, that's probably the one I've seen. I have no idea the answer to this question.
You've seen A New Hope.
I guess so, yeah.
Which would be the first one, which is the 4th one.
Right.
Because they did everything out of order. They went 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Completely confused everybody.
I've seen 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. I haven't seen any of the new stuff.
You're fine. You don't have to.
I'm not planning on it, actually. Would you like to take a stab at this one, Chuck P?
Yeah, the answer to that would be the Forest Moon of Endor.
It is the Forest Moon of Endor. That's exactly what it is.
He's so good.
It's also the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi.
How
this
about
year.
that? That's incredible.
See?
Who knew? I tell you.
God.
Released Memorial Day weekend 1983.
Son of a bugger.
T-Bob could never.
T-Bob hasn't a shot. And this is
nerd.
one that, I think I'd have gotten this one.
Okay.
Because this is one I did see. All right. One of the most iconic lines of the entire saga. Anakin tells Padme, "I hate sand," while serving as her guardian on what planet?
That'd be her home planet of Naboo.
That is Naboo! And that was also parodied in the Weird Al song as
Yes.
well, whenever they talked about American Pie parody. Chuck P goes 3-0. How about that?
How about that?
Not in any way surprising. Is there anything you think you wouldn't know at a Star Wars trivia night?
Yeah, if they dove deep into like a bunch of the novels, which I've read some, but not all of them. So if they did anything like that, that might throw me off.
What if we just stuck to like the movies?
The movies, the cartoons, the Disney Plus series, yeah, probably. But again, sometimes the easy questions I overthink, and I'll just shout out an answer, and I'll miss those sometimes. So.
What are you doing tonight?
I'm actually going to watch the Dungeons and Dragons movie because I hadn't seen.
I'm stunned, by the way, at this development. This is
so perfect.
What a development. Chuck P will not be at Plucker's Trivia for Star Wars trivia tonight because he's going to watch a Dungeons and Dragons movie.
I probably will be at Oliver Twist tomorrow night with you guys.
Well, we'll really look forward to that. Are you available for bribes tonight? Like, could you be someone's ringer for the show? Like,
I mean possibly.
Listen, I mean, Chuck P, if we're being honest here, man, like the movie's going to be at the theater tomorrow and the next day and the next day. I mean, you go anytime.
Yeah.
Tonight is Star Wars trivia at Pluckers, and I mean, you could go just win the whole lot for yourself, or be somebody's ringer on their team.
I'm fine with being a ringer if the price is right.
What is the price?
Maybe free drinks.
Okay. You buy Chuck P's drinks, and
maybe some wings. Maybe some wings.
You buy Chuck P some beer and some wings, And you got a ringer for Star Wars trivia tonight. I mean, what if you win every round and you're cashing and you're just spinning that prize wheel, cashing out prizes, and all you got to do is buy Chuck P. wings and beer.
I drink a lot of beer though.
You can even use the gift card you win on it.
I wonder if you can on the. I don't know the answer to this. I don't know if you can use the gift card the same day you win.
Same day.
I don't know. Maybe you can. I mean, that would seem perfectly logical, but I don't know.
Some places do that. Some places do that.
Hold on, Steve Levy. Bringing in the ringer was awesome. This is Steve, the owner of Pluckers. He said, sorry about the repeat question. I don't know why there was a repeat question. You cannot use the gift card that night.
There you go. All right.
Forget everything I said.
Answered.
I thought I remember that because I did host sports trivia at Pluckers for several years before Drew was born. And then I was like, I need my Tuesday nights. So Hunt does it now. And Hunt has an infant child. So but he's rolling. Good for him. All right, Chuck P., thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank
Chuck
you.
P. from Eagle 98.1. People can hear you middays on Eagle.
9 a.m. to noon, the morning brew on Eagle 98.1.
The morning brew.
Yeah. Two of my favorite things, coffee and beer.
Makes sense.
Yes.
All right, thanks for coming in there. Chuck
Thanks,
P.
man.
We appreciate it. The ringer, Chuck P. All right, it's after further review. Knock out our final break here. Little Autolocks to wrap up the show next.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Clegg's Nursery with 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Get on by and see our friends at Clegg's Nursery. I want to remind you that they have the mosquito product that will knock out mosquitoes 90 days at a time. It's springtime, y'all. It is springtime. It is called the Aeon 1. You can get it right now at Clegg's Nursery. Long story short, same great product I told you about forever, different name. Anyway, they got it at Clegg's Nursery. Knock out mosquitoes 90 days at a time. It's a tube the size of like a track baton. It's easy. You pop the top off. You fill it with water. There's granules in there. Shake it up. Hang it on a tree. Hang it on a fence line. You'll kill mosquitoes 90 days at a time. It's incredible. Trust me. Go get it at Clegg's Nursery. Any of the 4 locations. We have a pool and a pond behind our house. We don't have mosquitoes. Trust me. It's $30. I think it's actually $24.99. Go pick it up at Clegg's Nursery and at the 4 locations. Buy local, shop local. Clegg's Nursery.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $15,000 off all new 2022 1500 SCA trucks. And all new Bayou automotive vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Turn my music high, 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 yeah. Sure I do. I'm from the streets where the hood can swallow on me. Bullets will follow on me. There's so much that you could run the slalom. And cops comb this top to bottom. They say that we are prone to violence, but it's home sweet home. With personalities clashing, chrome meets chrome. Prices up and down like this Wall Street.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Down the stretch, we come final segment here on a Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Pluckers. Two great locations, Nicholson and Bluebonnet. Pluckers. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird. All right, one thing left to do. Let's find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks, presented by Lofton Staffing Services. At Lofton, we put people to work. Call us today at 924-0200 or go to lofton.jobs.
So we turn to the one and only, the incomparable and often incomprehensible, the Ott Father himself, Jimmy Ott. Otter, how are you?
Doing good, Matt. How about you, buddy?
I'm doing very well. 2-2 yesterday, so trending in the right direction. Let's get a winning night tonight, man. What are we looking at?
2 seconds away from the under last night. 27.5. God, call it jump ball. Let him tap.
Oh, it's so good.
All right. These Baltimore Orioles, man, they were the number one ROI team last year. They're good. They get the Kansas City pitching last night. We won that one. We like them on the run line again tonight, -1.5 plus 108. You know Zach Greinke. Zach Greinke's in the tail end of his career. 31 innings pitched this year, Matt. He's given up 39 hits. That's not good, okay? So Baltimore, they got 4 guys in the back of their bullpen that are lights out. Get it to the 7th inning with a lead, maybe increase it by then. Baltimore -1.5. I got plus 108, the best number up now.
Okay.
First 5's got 2 of them. Showtime, Shohei Ohtani. So St. Louis, historical bad team. Where the talk show's talking about KMOX, they're the worst team in 50 years for St. Louis. Arenado's are struggling at the plate. They really didn't do a whole lot for their pitching. It just keeps getting older and older. They're bad. They're 10 games under 500. You never count them out, but damn, they're digging themselves a big hole. Give me Showtime. I'm not messing with that bullpen. -149 in the first 5 for the LA Angels.
Okay.
Cleveland, that's your Yankees. Another first 5 here. Shane Bieber, -129, first 5. The Yankees did come back last night against that Cleveland bullpen. That second start for that young Cleveland starter. He gets the shutout innings again. He's good. But first 5, that injured Yankees lineup is just not even close to what it is at full strength. Cleveland -129. You put those two together, too. We like them individually. Put them together, plus 175 on a parlay as well. Okay. Let's go to the Boston God. The bounce back on 21 games in a row now. The team, the higher seed that loses the first game, comes back and bounces back and wins. They made it 5-0 straight up last night, but because the inflated line came under the number, it's 4-1 against the spread. But you know what, Matt? Like our friends at Outcast would say, Udoka Musola is poo-poo-poo. This is a downgrade with this coach. This guy is – remember when they lost it so good last year? That their defense got into them. They don't play any defense. Udoka Musola, poo-poo-poo. So this guy was on the second row last year. He was on the second row on the bench, on the bench in the NBA. You got the trainers, and you got the really low-rent assistants. Team doesn't really respect him. Embiid's back tonight, 8.5. Phillies, my best bet of the night tonight. We go 10, 9, 8, 7, and 6. What's the 8 tonight?
Okay. Philly, plus the points. We got Baltimore Orioles on the run line and a couple of first fives. The Angels, first five. The Guardians, almost said the Indians. The Guardians in the first five as well. Where are you, Otter?
We are open air. We're at Modesto on Burbank, just steps from the original walk-ons, out on the patio tonight. Just with the TVs on and soaking up the great weather over here.
Crank it up, yes! Yeah! Poo, poo, poo. All right, get out of here, Otter. Have a great show. All right, we'll see you later. That's Jimmy Ott. Game Time with Jimmy Ott follows us in Baton Rouge. If you're not in Baton Rouge, online at 1045ESPN.com, the 1045 ESPN app, or the Game Time with Jimmy Ott Facebook page. We're about to get on out of here. Muse, did you? I told you we might actually have time for what we learned. Did we actually learn anything today? Muse, what did you learn today?
I learned that you don't know how bets work.
You probably would have learned that then from the onset of all of this, but you know what I learned is you lose. You lose.
I don't.
That's what you do. Paulie, what did you learn today?
I learned that Musa owes me dinner.
What? No! That's not how this works!
What do you call that game? Musa owes me dinner.
What did you learn, Matt?
Monopoly. Published. They say a video game is published. Monopoly published in 1935. Y'all have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, remind you about Mold Zero USA. MoldZeroUSA.com. We sprung a leak at the Scone household on Saturday. Had a sink running all night long. It's all right. Thankfully, there was a drain on the floor in the laundry room, so it wasn't horrible. But had it been, call would have gone to Mold Zero. Have them come out, spray the whole thing down with their patented non-toxic dry fog. Make sure no mold is growing on the insulation of the walls, any of that sort of stuff. Mold Zero USA. They can also get rid of odors and dozens of other pathogens. So you talk about coughs and colds and flus and viruses, all that stuff that could be around a home or an office building, an apartment complex. Mold Zero, they can come spray, get rid of all that. Of course, mold, odors. It's a patented non-toxic dry fog. It is completely safe for family, pets, plants, everything. It's Mold Zero USA. Learn more online or give them a call. It's Mold Zero USA. Mold-0USA.com.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.